What's up with that? Oh, sorry. Just trying to sort out this overlay.
Oh yeah, I'm using my old custom scoreboard.
I use the I still use Zon's thing. It works pretty
Oh
well, I
nice.
find.
Yeah, I think badass.
Ah, right. That's okay. Well, stream's going up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. Okay, where's the game? There we go. Do 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 do. Okay. Hello, Lego Man. Alright. I'm just going to give people a bit of time to get in. Hopefully I can find out where the matches are. Did he send me... Is there a list of matchups? Well,
Yeah.
who's going first? Anyway, by the way, this is Delphius. I'm assuming you all know him.
Hello. How's it going, people? Yeah, I think in the finals area, there's a list of matchups. We should, if everything goes according to plan, start with Snetch versus the Child.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. So, guess I'll just make up a lobby.
Oh wait, it starts at 2:30.
It said 6, didn't it? Final start in 2. hours
We
30.
are half an hour early, my guy. Yeah, I thought it was 2 o'clock too, or
Huh.
just 00, for whatever time.
Yeah. Oops. So what do we do? Do we just stop and start in half an hour? Or
Maybe. We got the pre-show here, so we can talk a little bit about what's going on, and then maybe stop streaming and come back in a bit.
I mean, well, we can at least show the matchups then. Do something.
Yeah. So we got. It looks like. So at 2:30, guys, it's gonna be a little while. We got another 20 minutes or so, but the child seems to be playing his matches first. That should be some pretty good games. He's typically fairly aggressive.
Yeah.
But Epicosity, I mean, Epicosity being in the lightweight division is slightly surprising. I mean, he's a great player.
He's a pretty heavy lightweight.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that's like right on the edge, And Pigeon Rush is the kind of guy you never really know what he's gonna do.
Pigeon Rush has been
reminds me of like a Tosh apprentice. He's always coming out with crazy stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, Pigeon Rush, he takes a lot of risks with his greed, but if it pays off, then it pays off big time.
And Jevla, I don't think I'd seen a lot of Jevla before this event. Is that correct, or did they rebrand or something?
I'll be honest, I don't know the name that well either. I've definitely seen them on ladder a few times, but I don't know them well enough to like comment on their playstyle really. I think they've been doing all right though, in terms of their record within the games. I don't know how I'd rate them against Snetch and Epicosity and all that. I think Epicosity and the Child are definitely the two big boys in the lightweight division.
Yeah, for sure. But what's kind of interesting about the format, it's 21 games, but I guess if somebody gets the 12 wins, like if Badgers just win games 1 through 12, I mean that's it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Actually, no, isn't it 11? Because it's 21. So.
Oh, 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how to
I think that's what happened last time. Is the Foxes beat the Boars. They got to 11 points, but we kept streaming, and James was able to get another few wins up to bring it to 11-10.
Yeah. That's
or
a good
11-9.
Because imagine one team kind of wins by like game 14 or 15 or so. I guess it depends on the players and on us and everybody. Like, hey, do we want to just keep playing for fun, and see if it ended up being closer at the end of the day?
Yeah.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, though.
Yeah, I think I'd be down for just keep going. I'd like to just go through all the games, especially since apparently the last few I'm in.
Yeah,
those
all
are the 2v2s.
2v2 are at the end, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the 2v2 team, but you're gonna sub in for Jacoby if he can't make it. He's one of the players that had a scheduling conflict or something.
Yes. First I'm hearing about it, but that is what I'm doing. I'll be honest, Jacoby would probably do better. He's a better Badger player than me, and I don't say that lightly. I'm pretty proud of my Badger, but
I mean, he's just really solid overall. I think I don't know if it was on my feast on Friday night or where was it, but I had seen him lately playing outside of his kind of typical like this guy style deck, but when he pulls that style out, I mean it's very powerful.
Yeah.
He knows it really well. He can do the this guy push, or he knows how to transition into the Badger if that's where he needs to go to.
We really should probably be calling that the Jacoby push, since I'm pretty sure Jacoby was doing it first, but this guy did it more.
There's a lot of that, man.
God, that was
a couple things back in the day that were like that too. I remember we call in certain things from certain players, and it's like, well, if you look at it technically, it was actually Chip from Space who, pioneered that, not Mishi or whoever.
Yeah. What about you? You feeling confident with your games against Eel and Melvin?
Man, I just want to, I just want to show up and do my best. I know that sounds like a cop out, but I'm just gonna play solid tooth and tail. Like being perfectly honest, I don't have any kind of like grand master plan in mind or some cheesy deck or build I'm gonna pull out. I'm just gonna scout well. I'm gonna hopefully make good decisions and try to win the game.
Well, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. I'm feeling pretty. I mean, I was going to say I was feeling pretty confident with our heavyweights, but Mishi is Mishi, and Kolaru has been. Normally, I'd give it to Melvin over Kolaru, but Kolaru has been killing it in this tournament.
Yeah, Melvin's really strong as well, so it's rough, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no bans. There's no
bans.
Tier 3 restriction besides we can't use badgers, you guys can't use foxes, right?
Yeah, you can't use your opponent's tier 3, but other than that, everything's fair game.
So, I don't know if that's a strength or weakness for various players. I mean, those kinds of limitations really change things up.
Well, I'm really used to using multiple tier 3s, so I actually found it fairly limiting. I think a big part of it is that like I can no longer build my deck purely around countering fox and stuff like that. I have to be ready for owls and boars and wolves.
And badger owl or even fox owl, I mean, both of those are definitely viable ways to play. One thing too that could throw a wrench in the gear is the fact that moles are back in town. So a lot of games that we've seen, a lot of players that have been doing well, like I wonder if part of the reason they were doing well is because they didn't have to deal with mole timings or being punished, for greedy play. Like I'm the kind of guy, I like to play greedy, and moles are one of the things that can come in and really screw you up there. So
yeah, anyone who watches my stream will know that I have a burning hatred for moles because they crushed me so many times.
Oh yeah.
So I've been really enjoying not having to play against them. But it's actually caught me out a few times when I got back onto ranked when I completely forgot that it's something you need to watch out for.
Exactly.
So I've been having to get used to that. I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised to see someone get caught out with it. Because the mole push is so powerful.
Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings in the world when you're kind of doing your thing and maybe you place like a tier 2 a little bit greedily or something like that, and then you go scout and your opponent's building like 3 mole warrens. You're like, no, like hold on.
Yeah,
some guys are like really good at that. I as much as I'm kind of on team, hate moles as well. There is definitely an art to it. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Moles are nowhere near as good in my hands as they are in everyone else's, it seems. I can't get the timing right, and I'm not good at hiding them. It never works out as well for me as it does for the likes of this guy, or Araloo. Araloo's another really good mole player. He's really good at his timings. But we don't have to worry about him, fortunately. He's down with the wolves, thank God. So yeah, and then we've got Eel, the developer. I think he'll... It's not impossible. I think he'll have a challenge in the heavyweights.
He's got some rough matchups, man. I mean, Kolaru and Michi. And Eel's a bit of a wild card too. I feel like he likes to play aggressive, and sometimes it works for him, sometimes it doesn't. Like I feel kind of 50-50 against Eel, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
Eel
could win that or lose it.
Eel never feels like he's not got a chance, but he's definitely not favoured. And I mean, I've seen Eel do some really amazing stuff and some really stupid stuff. So I don't know where it's gonna go.
I think you could say that about most of us.
Yeah, but the difference is when someone like Mishi does stupid stuff, it still works. Yeah, and then we got the 2v2s after all of that. Fleur and I against QQ and Ziggy. I think
That's
it's
gonna be fun.
yeah. I think, quite frankly, your team is cheating by having Ziggy
Really?
as a lightweight, considering he's been playing since launch.
And another thing I was about to comment on Ziggy too is he actually plays a good amount of multiplayer games.
Mm.
Like a lot of the times I get a 2v2 or a free for all come in for the feast. It's Ziggy is involved.
Oh yeah,
And,
Ziggy loves 2v2s and free-for-alls. He's always asking me to do them whenever I'm stripping the game.
And QQ, I think, is kind of well suited for it as well because he likes to play with defensive structures. He likes to get out tier 3, and those are good things in 2v2 most of the time, you know?
I think a lot of QQ's strategies transfer well over to 2v2s. The ferret defensive structure style that he does a lot, and the lizard harassment that he does a lot, it's a really solid strategy in 2v2s as well, whereas a lot of 1v1 strategies don't quite pass over as well. QQ is annoying with his ferrets. I swear his ferrets get like extra speed or something. They shouldn't be that good.
Yeah, he's one of the players that really makes him work. Who's the other guy who likes to use ferrets a lot? I'm trying to think their name.
Oh, is it Heartseed?
Heartseed, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Heartseed has like this cool ferret barbed wire balloon thing he likes to do a lot.
Yeah, it's caught me up. I was so annoyed that I didn't get to fight Heartseed again. He's until the last week where I lost to Mishi, he was the only person who had beaten me. It was really it's very upsetting. Especially because
everybody is in position, guys. If you're hanging out and you're watching and you're going to be in the tournament, please be ready to roll. It'll really make things a lot better for the gentlemen today. It'll help me and Tosh create a more entertaining show for everybody.
Yeah, cut out on the downtime. We've already had about 30 minutes of downtime because we started too early, but better to be too early than too late.
This is very true.
We've got 14 minutes left. Do you want to just do a couple of show matches or something? Or is that actually, cheating since we're going to be...
I might actually go AFK for a few minutes.
Alright.
That's cool.
If you go AFK, I'll do something. I'll find something to do for 15 minutes and then we can come back. Because it feels weird to...
I'm gonna eat a quick sandwich, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and,
you do that.
And we'll be back shortly. Sorry, guys, we thought this started at 2 for some reason. Both of us were ill-informed. I thought it was 2 as well. It says right there on the sheet, 2:30.
Yeah.
So
we made a mistake.
It's all good.
All right, then. 15 minutes.
Yeah, I will be back in just a little bit.
Let's cast this random 3-player free-for-all.
There you go.
Just to whet our appetites. Oh, by the way, there is a stream delay on of a minute. Simply because, you know, it is a tournament and we should take it somewhat seriously. What is going on here? Rick, Rob Bob and Drexack Blaze playing a 3-player 3-for-all with 3 units. 3, 3, 3. Hey, gentlemen. We got the times wrong. But, you know, it's worked out for the best because now we get to see Drexack go 4 farm 3 mills. I'd like to know what his strategy is here. Is he trying to get up like a really forward arty or something? No, he's going for a 4th mill. What is going on? Rob Bob is just chilling, minding his own business. Rick has put down 2 lizard warrens, but he's not put them in the right place. That could be... You need to squeeze that lizard warren over, and then you could fit an extra lizard warren in. Like, they're misaligned. It's really annoying. But, anyway, Drek hasn't been punished for going for 6 mills on 4 farms, which is pretty incredible. He's got no tier 1, I've just noticed, so he's going to have to try and really spam machine guns down. He's only putting 1 down so far. Rob Bob also going for multiple mills. I gotta be honest though, I'm rooting for Drek. I want to see the more mills than farm strategy work. I don't know how it can, but I mean, maybe they're doing some weird rules like you can't destroy structures or something. I remember I've played some games where we all just agreed we're not going to attack structures, but it does seem to be the case. I mean, Rick could really punish Drex so hard right now. And Drek is machine gunning up here pretty well, but he's left this route completely open. Is it route or route? I always know that it's pronounced different in English than American English, and I always know I get it wrong. Same thing with lever and lever. I never remember which way I'm supposed to pronounce it, and it really annoys my parents that I always pronounce it the American way. When I remember the way that I'm supposed to say it and think, oh, but I always get it wrong, so I must pronounce it the other way instead. And then it turns out I was right the first time. Okay, Rick is coming in with his lizards. His 9 lizards. He still is only on 7 farms. He's not put down his 8th farm. He's just taken 2 campfires. But it looks like Rob is going to counterattack here. Pick off this really far forward campfire. Drek is just farming up like nobody's business. Only 4 farms on his original mill. But he's got 7 here and 2 here. He's just... Is he going for all of the corners? Is he just painting? Drek is just trying to make art. Whereas Rick and Rob are actually trying to play. Rob has got up to 16. He's actually fully saturated both his bases. Whereas Drek has sort of put his scatter shot. We've got an RT on the field. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to hit. There's no way it reaches all the way over here. And it could cover some of this, but if you're going to cover this, you might as well put it, you know, on this side. Oh, but Rob's coming in. He's only going to get 1 machine gun. Rick now has his ferrets up. That's going to be really useful for shelling down all of these machine guns. Also got the owl, which means eventually Rick should win, although Rob and Drek both have falcons that can fly above the mice. Drek hasn't got any out though yet. Look, Drek, like, his 4 farms are fallowed before he goes and puts down any more. He's also, I think he's made the mistake here of missing the one hiding behind the mill. You've always got to check your mini-map. Rob Bob, he is going hard on the eco. Oh. Oh dear. I forgot that we needed to fast forward. Oh. Actually, I want to know how that ended. I'm actually disappointed. These are just 3 random people. Is this replay going to end at, like, where the original game ended? I actually want... I mean, we saw Rob Bob 1, which... I mean, he was the only one who was playing by the book, so you'd expect, but still. I am disappointed in myself for forgetting to fast forward, because I wanted to see how this worked out. Now, does the replay actually work like this, or is it just going to end where we got to? Oh, I never noticed that Rick came in and got a farm. Things you miss. He tried to come in again, and that's where Rob Bob was able to counterattack and pick off 2 campfires. It is a letdown. I can't deny it. I was so enthralled. Completely slipped my mind. Okay, I think this is near where we were. No, yeah, he put the I think... Yeah, I don't think anything's moving now. Darn it. We still got 5 minutes left to kill. Oh, wait. No, he... Well, it's a mystery that's going to be left unknown. Now, we still do have 4 minutes left. And it'll be 3 minutes by the time you hear this. So if you guys want to like start getting ready, loading up the games, and then we can get into this nice and quick. What is Drek doing? Mole ferret balloon. It's nice to see people taking advantage of all the options this game gives you, though, and playing with like different numbers of units. I remember. Oh, hi. We were watching some random free for all.
Just some people playing.
Yeah. They went 4 farms, 6 mills, and I was just hooked. But we missed the ending because I forgot to. I was so enamored that I completely forgot to fast forward.
Alright, do we have a lobby password ready to roll? Let me look.
I don't think Gents... Oh, maybe he has.
Oh, they want us to make it.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Alright, say goodbye to Rick, Rob and Drek, everybody. They've done their part admirably. Hopefully we'll get to see them again at some point.
They don't even know they're Twitch famous.
Right, I'll be nice and simple and just make the password final.
Works for me.
Oh yeah, and let's get this overlay up. Now it's Child versus Snetch, I believe.
Yep.
Well, who's on which side? Then when I see who's on what side, then I'll can put them in.
Hey, we got the child here. Nice.
Oh, doesn't he have to play Kasha? Or are we not doing that rule anymore?
Oh, play Hopper? Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, play Hopper. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too confusing, but it would be nice to wear uniform. Oh, he is! He's playing Hopper.
Child knows what's up. He's ready to roll. All right, this is gonna be fun. We're almost ready to get this rolling.
Just waiting for. Just
Snetch
waiting
here.
for Snetch.
There we go. Okay. What's
Alright.
what's the badger colors? Is it yellow?
Yeah,
Nice.
we are civilized. Now, who's going to actually use their allotted tier 3? You don't have to anymore, but
No, it looks like neither player.
not yet.
Okay, it looks
And we
like
got-
they're ready to roll.
And they've got the moles for each. Okay, let me check that the overlay is working. But we got squirrel, pigeon, mole, falcon, skunk, wolf against squirrel, mole, falcon, skunk, snake, boar.
Lots of overlap in the decks here.
Yeah.
Just swapping out a couple units. Child looking for that extra tier 1 in the form of the pigeon.
I mean,
Kind of an interesting pick here. Maybe he's worried about snakes.
I would expect him to be more worried about skunks. I'll be honest, I don't know why Child has the pigeons. I would really expect that to go with Snetch because the boar synergizes well with them, having that
Right.
huge HP pool to work with.
I mean, I guess you could argue even your own skunks having, like 3 pigeons helping to heal them on the front lines.
Yeah,
Would be
I mean,
decent.
to be fair, Child is basically running this guy deck, and the pigeons were
Yeah.
always a big part of that, just to keep the skunks alive. So it's not like he's not going to have any use. And the pigeons actually let your squirrels in tier 1 actually fight skunks semi-effectively. They're pretty
Ooh,
good.
Going for a 6 farm double here, and Snetch actually hasn't scouted him out yet. He's about to make it
Yeah.
right now. This is a big awkward map, and Snetch literally looked everywhere else, and now he sees that a rush is coming.
Yeah, he's got the moles to put down something quick, but he's probably going to... He does sell the farm. He's going to respond as quickly as he can. Moles aren't great at holding off squirrels, but it's better than nothing.
This looks like an okay response, but I think the child will for sure at least get 1 pig here.
Yeah, 1 pig. But that will bring them to even eco. Or he might get a second. He might get a second. Child
The child.
is very aggressive, and it's working out for him.
Nice job so far, and yeah, that seems like a good time to take it home. Oh no,
Oh, no.
He's
He's building
more.
moles, and Snetch is going into farms. He hasn't seen this. He's assumed Child would go home, but you know what they say about assumptions.
Yep. All right, let's see. This is looking rough, but Snetch does have a lot of squirrels here.
He needs to focus down the squirrels first, though.
Yeah, the
It's just-
squirrels did a good job tanking on the front.
Yeah. It's so hard to hold off a squirrel mole push with these few units when you're behind in any unit count. But, man, Snetch is in a rough spot here.
Yeah, and it's rough because it's like if you have the Warrens up front, it'll help you against the squirrels, but then the moles just kill the Warrens. So I do like his Warren placement, but Snetch is
Yeah.
just running away from this game, and I think that's just going to be
Yeah,
it from here.
I don't know if Snetch can come back from this. He's down to 3 farms. I don't know how because he doesn't really have the money to take sort of a big risk that could, get him the big swing he needs. He's
Looks like
too
he
low.
wants to pack up and try to get down to the 9 o'clock, but yeah, I mean, even if he gets away with that, there's just too much damage already done here.
He's lost all his farms, or is about to. Well, that's a disappointing start for the Badgers.
You mean an awesome start for the Foxes?
It's okay.
Nice quick 3-minute victory here for the child. Snetch is desperately holding on. I can't blame him. It is an important tournament match, but
Yeah, I've been drilling in the never surrender attitude to the Badgers.
hey, you might as well, hold on to the last unit there.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. So who we got coming in next? It looks like Epicosity should be rolling on in. nice quick victory. And again, man, that's what I was touching on a little bit earlier. You know, we've played this whole event not really having to deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah, moles have not been something you've had to worry about for a long time. For I think at all. I think they were banned every week except maybe the first.
Yeah. And really, I think what that game came down to was Snetch getting a little bit unfortunate with his RNG on the scouting.
Yeah.
Because he literally scouted that entire wonky map besides the child's base until the last minute. Like, if you would have found the child faster, you would have been able to do the classic, you know, stay even on farms or maybe even one farm ahead, build a couple warrens, and you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, Child is just so... He's known for his aggression. Maybe Snetch doesn't, you know, doesn't know Child well enough to know that that's how he plays, but
yeah,
Child is definitely the type of player you've got to really scout hard in the early game because he
you
loves...
might even want to do like that old school chip from space opening against players like that, you know, where you
like
just
7 farm warren, yeah.
Yeah, like throw down an early safety warren just in case. And sure, if they go 8 farms, yeah, you're a little bit behind, but to be honest, it's kind of negligible for the most part.
Yeah, it's better to take that early loss in the eco and then catch up later than it is to just lose outright.
Epicosity with the snap deck picks, and it looks like Child is going to bring the same thing to the table he did last game.
Okay, so Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Snake. No tier 3s, but a very solid early to mid-game composition. And
that's actually a really good comp from Epicosity.
And, you know, you can always mass Falcons. You know, tier 2s do stack pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, even getting up to like 4 or 6 skunks can be pretty crazy in a lot of situations.
There's just so much gas down at that point. There's nowhere safe to stand.
Alright, so Epicosity does get the quick scout this time. So both players already know where the opponent's base is. Both players have moles, so in this early game we're really looking to see if there's any pre-8 farm warrens or maybe a cheeky mole rush, that sort of thing.
Doesn't seem like there is this time, but I mean, Child could go back and sell these farms. That's what he did last time.
Look at this map. This map almost looks like a custom map, you know. It's got this like bat wing of gristmills in the middle. It's fairly balanced. I mean, I like it a little bit better for the Child, of course.
Yeah.
He's up on the high ground. But if Epicosity gets established on like that 2 o'clock base,
Epicosity should be able to take at least these 2 mills over here, the sort of eastern side. And Child, I mean, this mill out in like the sort of island, the hilly island, that's kind of risky for Child to take. The water between that and Epicosity means that he's got a long time to respond.
But, here comes Epicosity with a mole rush.
Oh, Child already has a warren down though. He should. He's just gonna sell, and you know he loses a bit of time, but Epicosity loses a bit of food. Nothing really in that.
And Epicosity did the delayed mole rush. You know, he got the 8 farms before doing that. He did float a little bit of money during the process there, but just goes home, throws down a bunch of tier 1. And you know, this is a really large map, so it's kind of interesting to me. Both players are throwing down so much tier 1. You know what I mean?
Apparently, people can hear drumming on my stream. I think it might just be the rain in the game because there's no other noise in my room, so I don't know what that is, but I apologize.
That's weird. I'm trying to listen to the stream a little bit, see if I can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of feedback on your mic, but it's not very much.
I don't know. But we've got a big mole push coming in from Epicosity. Child hasn't seen it.
Yeah, this could be rough. I mean, he's trying to get into tier 2 right now. So but the skunk's about to be ready.
Yeah, but I don't know if one skunk is going to be able to hold this off. And these warrens are pretty far forward.
Got some emergency moles coming out from the child as well, and he's doing a good job of keeping that skunk alive.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of tier 1 here for Epicosity.
Well, if this second skunk comes up, then he should be good. And, oh, Epicosity isn't even going to get the single Warren. That's actually really big. Like, Epicosity needs some infrastructure damage done here, but he's not going to get it. He's going to have to retreat.
Great hold from the child, but Epicosity does have that second base roll, and
Yeah.
however, he is behind in the tier 2.
He's behind in tempo now that he had to sell those moles, and Child's going to take advantage of that by coming in. Can Epicosity hold here?
Yeah, these skunks could just end the game if Epicosity's not careful. Good job trying to target them down.
Yeah, I mean, Child doesn't have a lot of tier 1 to back them up, so Epicosity might be able to hold.
It's really going to come down to some of this micro here, trying to get the skunk gas in the right spot. Epicosity's starting to push this back.
He's caught one skunk. I think it's more important that he kills a tier 1, frankly. Like, the skunks by themselves can't actually do much because you can kite them effectively. It's the other units that he needs to worry about. The ones that can actually destroy his warrens and farms quickly.
Yeah, and Epicosity holds nicely.
Yeah.
Killing that one skunk really helped him out. He's got a lot of moles here, but now he's in a good position where he can, either go into tier 2, he can sneak out an extra farm or so, and the child still hasn't expanded.
I mean, yeah, Epicosity, I think, is now going to be ahead just for having that extra eco. Even though that Molar push didn't go as well as he wanted, he did hold the counterattack pretty well. And Child, is Child just going to one base all in this? It'd be a very Child move. Because he's about to hit the 5-minute mark.
Take that gristmill on the way out, you know?
Yeah, I thought he was, but we've hit the 5-minute mark, so it's going to be harder to expand now.
Yeah, now we're at the point where Child really has to get some damage done.
Child is kind of committed here. He's all in. But he is getting good gas down.
Only
Fortunately,
one skunk here for Epicosity for now.
Yeah.
One pig should fall. So that's starting to help, but this is, I mean, these are fine trades, I guess, but not the damage that he...
Yeah, it'd be fine if he was even, but he's behind. He needs better than fine.
Right.
And Epicosity now has the pigeons out, which are going to help him in the skunk v skunk wars. So, Epicosity's still definitely ahead. But Child is going to expand. I wonder if it wouldn't be better to just, you know, put this 60 food into an extra mole warren and try and kill your opponent that way. At this point, because I don't know if you can catch up from here.
Well, if he takes a fight here and this gristmill helps tank a little bit, that could be nice.
He's taken a lot of skunk damage walking backwards and forwards through this gas, but he does have the mill up.
Ooh, and the bulls get on top of the mill. The mill is getting really low, but it should live.
It does survive. And Child picks off a lot of tier 1, but he just can't afford these trades. He's down to 1 farm.
Yeah, after that big engagement, Epicosity did throw down an extra pig, so he's got two on the expansion still.
Yeah, Epicosity
not selling off extra warrens either.
Epicosity, as long as he keeps trading, he can stop Child from getting to like the critical mass of units where he can like theoretically all in. Because at the moment, Child is, you know, too far behind in army to really just go for it. But he's so far behind in economy that I don't know if he can realistically catch up. So he's in a very tricky position here. He has sold.
It's rough too, because if you throw down a farm or two and try to get back into this, I mean, that mill is dangerously low.
Yeah.
You know, Epicosity's next push with the moles getting on top of it.
Alright, Child's starving. Oh, he's also walking through a choke point up the high ground. I mean, it's a fairly good trade, all things considered, but again, it's not good enough when he's behind. He needs better than good. And he's just not getting it.
Yeah, I think Child just really committed too much to the all-in. You know, maybe a couple minutes ago, if he tried to throw down some farms, we'd have a hell of a match here. But I think Epicosity is just going to start winning the eco game.
Yeah, and pigeons in these numbers are going to matter a lot because, you know, the eco's so low that every tier 1 unit even you can save is going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
And with the skunk gas, like, pigeons do a fairly good job of countering skunk gas, especially in these low numbers.
With those skunks going down, I think this is the time where Child has to tap.
Yeah.
And Epicasi should be tying things up 1-1.
He could try and go for some fancy mole shenanigans, sell everything and put some moles back. Try and go for a base race. It'd be unlikely to work, but I don't see what other option he's got.
Yeah, he looks like he is looking around up there, but he didn't sell his Warrens before he went out. And
yeah, he's missed his opportunity. He's just trying to get up enough squirrels that he can fight this head on, but he's not going to be able to. The skunk tanks so much damage and doesn't even die.
Nice action-packed match there, and a point on the board for the Badgers.
Yep.
Rush is already in the lobby, ready to roll.
Yep. Let's see if he lives up to his namesake. Because he doesn't actually rush very often. For a guy named Rush, he's a really...
Rush.
He's called Rush, but he's actually a really greedy player.
Yeah. He likes to do a lot of tier 3 heavy stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm curious what he's going to bring out this game.
Although maybe it's more of an eco rush rather than
Yeah.
a unit rush.
There you go. There's multiple ways to rush. Child gonna commit to that same comp.
Yeah, although I don't think he was running ferrets before.
Oh, did he bring up ferrets this time? Nice.
Yeah. Squirrel, lizard, ferret, falcon, skunk, wolf. He definitely didn't have the lizards either.
Yeah, so those are some pretty big adjustments, actually.
Yeah.
It looked like he dropped the moles and the pigeons for the lizard ferret.
And rush with lizard, pigeon, falcon, cam, wolf, mine. Some interesting picks there. No squirrel. Mines are a bit shaky. They've got the hidden bonus that no one ever expects them, at least. But they are fairly weak at the moment.
Yeah, no toads, no chameleons from Child to punish the lizards, and Rush is gonna come out with a 5-farm Warren here. But I love the Camp Falcon Wolf. Like, that's just the classic value composition there.
Yeah, Rush is actually rushing, despite us saying how he tends not to. Maybe he heard. Child did scout it immediately, but Rush might still be able to get something done. He supply blocked himself on his second lizard, though. And you need
Yeah, you
two
gotta be
lizards
really
to pick off a
careful about
farm.
He does come in and see it is a double Warren Rush here.
Yeah.
And the Child did the, textbook response to this. So a 5-farm Warren will respond with a 6-farm Warren.
Although Child losing his commander delays his response quite a bit.
I'm surprised he threw down a farm, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
He knows there's 2 Warrens.
Rush, I don't think Rush is coming in with the right numbers. Oh, Rush went in with only 2 lizards into pigs and squirrels, and he's not got this pig. That's actually terrible for Rush.
Yeah, that was really fumbled there. And that extra lizard rallying over after his commander died, that's just salt in the wound.
Yeah, that's a good, 80, 60 food that you can't really afford to lose for no gain on only 5 farms. He can still come around the back. It would probably be better. He's got this flank route that he can loop around on and try and get some damage done there. But he keeps coming in the front. He wants to get that pig that's injured. But he's overstaying his welcome, trying to fight over the Warrens. He does pick off a Warren, but that's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, you got a Warren, you got a pig. The chat is yelling at you, Tosh. You didn't update Rush's score there. Or Rush's
Oh, I
name.
did. I just didn't update his name.
And
Although
Child's coming in with a lot of units here. Let's see, Rush is trying desperately to get some lizards put together. Lizards can trade pretty well with squirrels, but you need to have equal numbers.
Yeah.
At the very least. Them kind of coming in one at a time is not going to work, and this might just be another quick, aggressive Rush or Child victory here.
Yeah, it's looking good for Child. The lizards struggle on defense. You can't really defend from low numbers. I think Rush could have made this work if he'd attacked from alternative routes, but he kept on just running in the front door where all the army was waiting for him.
All right, Child's got to be pretty happy with his tournament results today.
Yeah.
Puts up 2-1.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Can't be
can't
too-
complain with that.
He's done his duty. All
See
right,
if we can wrangle up the next players here.
it should be Javella. coming in now. To represent the Foxes, while Rush should be hanging around for the Badgers.
Alrighty, let's see if Javella is in position. Looks like they are playing tooth and tail, so that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
And should be coming in. So some quick, aggressive matches today. Jin saying you should turn me up just a smidgen if you can.
Yeah, I have. I've moved you up about 15 volume points. Okay. Decibels, I don't know what the unit is.
Sounds convincing to me.
Yeah, let me know if that still needs... Sorry, I was just going to say, let me know if that still needs more volume, or if it's too loud and I need to go the other way again. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say we've got some nice, quick, aggressive matches so far.
Yeah.
Epicosity really showing you how to bridge like an aggressive match into building like just enough and, you know, still sneaking out an extra mill in a farm. I think that's a really important line of play.
I mean, Epicosity showed that as long as you can... The flaw with aggression is that if you don't get anything done, it puts you so far behind. It's kind of a big gamble. And Epicosity, he was able to hold that early aggression. He was scouting it out carefully. He held it well, and then, you know, he was just able to creep up, you know, 60 food at a time from there.
All right, chat's saying it sounds good now.
Okay.
Hey, we've got Jevla in here, so we are keeping it rolling. What is this, match number 4 in this Best of 21 finals?
Match number 4, 50 minutes in. But 30 minutes of that was because we were too early.
That's true. We're only 20 minutes in, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it seems like it's going pretty fast so far.
Yeah, I was wondering what the time was. Okay.
Hey, it looks like Rush wants the same deck here, and Jevla is going to do more of a classic boar style.
Yeah. I can see on the Badger Bros Discord that there's a bit of discussion going on.
Uh-oh.
Regarding tactics. I wonder if the Foxes are sharing info the same way.
No, man. Foxes are all sleeping right now. They're not even prepared. We're definitely not doing last minute training or anything.
Got in the hyperbolic time chamber. You know, make that hour last a year.
That would be amazing. All right, let's see what these guys want to do this time around.
So it's this boar deck from Javella. Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Boar. Really solid. Just a really solid deck. You get the Mole Skunk push happening in the mid game, and then you can go into Falcon Boar if that doesn't quite kill your opponent. Rush is going with the same deck from last time. Be interesting to see how it holds up. The Lizards aren't going to do too well on this map, I think, because there's only one entrance to Javella's base.
Yeah, this is a really weird map. You know, you've got this like linear progression of gristmills leading away from Rush's main, and Jevla does have this natural down here. There isn't really defense. I mean, yeah, there's mines, but nothing to really be abusive. Something like a balloon could have been crazy on this one.
If Javella had, if Rush had any sort of poking units, he could probably abuse the high ground outside Javella's base pretty hard on this second mill. Like some ferrets from... Like, Javella would have to cross over that water, that stream, and then push up the high ground. But, you know.
I like this opening from Javella, like, grabbing the single farm, or I'm sorry, 8-farm Warren into mill. Rush thought about, like, punishing it because they went 8-farm double, but backs out, and Jevla hasn't built any farms yet, but, you know, got a nice number of squirrels here, starting to throw down a farm or two.
Yeah. It's so far nothing too unusual, but Rush really likes to play greedy with a second base, so I imagine this is where things are going to start diverging a bit more.
Yeah, this is where scouting just becomes so important,
and
man.
Javella,
you gotta know how many farms they've got on that second. You gotta know if there's a tier 2 or something on the way.
Yeah, Javella's keeping up with his scouting a lot more than Rush is at the moment. Rush hasn't scouted any of the farms or even the third tier 1-1. He's going to come in now. He sees 2 farms. And he does see the building warrens there, including the tier 2 warren. And that's really big to know about.
Yeah, so Rush knows that they're a bit behind on the tier 2. I'm curious if he's just going to rail down with lizards. I mean, lizards are actually pretty good against tier 2 for the most part. Let's see if he wants to get some cams or something, though.
Yeah, he could just keep massing lizard. Mass lizard is pretty good against squirrel skunk.
Yeah.
But he's going to go for falcons.
Falcons are kind of an interesting choice.
Yeah, if he can kill these squirrels quickly, then the falcons can clear up the skunks nicely. But
yeah,
it's basically just going to come down to his micro and a bit of positioning. Sometimes trying to focus. Oh, he's coming in. He does force a sell on the farm, but this is not a great position to be attacking into.
Yeah. Jevla's units were not in the perfect spot, but yeah, Jevla was being a little greedy there, trying to go up to more farms, and now Jevla's going to take this as an opportunity to come in for a counterattack.
Yeah, and Rush really needs to muster up some lizards. He's only got 2 at the moment.
And I don't know, that Falcon doing a good job DPSing down these skunks.
Yeah, one skunk down, but it looks like this mill is going to die. Okay, the skunks are down. Can Rush hold on to the mill? No, he can't.
I mean, that's 4 farms on that mill already, so tons of money, and now Rush is just way far behind. Jevla loses the commander, though.
Yeah. Ooh, that was... Rush's attack just didn't work out. Like, Javela's units were all spread around the mill. It meant that he had the much better positioning. He was able to just surround Rush. And
yeah, not only that too, but it's really easy to undervalue the fire from the pigs.
Yeah,
you know, like all the Jevla's pigs were getting in there, firing their pistols too. That really helps.
Yeah, I mean, because it might just be 1 damage, but that 1 damage is enough to mean that, like, it's a second less you get in the skunk gas, and it's 1 shot fewer that the squirrels have to do in order to kill the lizards.
When it's 1 damage, but from 4 sources.
Yeah,
you know?
So it actually adds up pretty significantly.
And I think Jevla played really, really nice this game.
Yeah.
I was kind of keeping an eye on their build order, and I thought it was really good. You know, it was a nice macro-centric opening, but also staying safe.
Nothing too fancy. Javela's even got the boar down and building just in case Rush is able to make some sort of crazy comeback, but unfortunately for us, he is not. And that's going to be another point for the Foxes.
Yeah, it looks like Snetch is already in position, ready to roll here. Rush needs to hop on out. Maybe I can send a message or something.
Yeah, actually, because Raven's games are replays, that's going to be his last live game.
Oh man, I don't know how to add that crazy message. I'll just send him a message.
I think if you just type in @Rush, it comes up with him as a option.
I sent him. Oh yeah, thought I tried that. Maybe I did not. But all right, send him a message. And it looks like we got Jevla versus Snetch coming up next. Three to 1 for the Foxes so far. So we're getting a little bit of a lead here, but nothing crazy just yet.
I remember in the semi-finals, the Boars took a really fast early lead in the lightweight division, and then it completely fell apart in the heavyweights in 2v2. So, still some time to go.
Yep. The fat lady has not sang yet. Rush. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, keeping her moving. Jevla versus Snetch coming up next. And we didn't really get to see much of Snetch versus the Child. He did kind of have some unfortunate RNG with the scouting. I feel like he did kind of deal with the Rush appropriately, but it was just like too late. You know what I mean? He needed to sell off farms and put down warrens.
Yeah, I mean, he sold off his farm, he put down warrens, he even put down the mole just to get something out quickly. There wasn't really much more he could have done. He just needed 20 extra seconds and he wasn't going to get it.
Yep. All right, we're getting into it here. Both
Ooh.
players with the boars.
Yeah,
Oh,
Javella.
look at this map. Oh my god.
Yeah, this map is gonna. They're so close together already. They're just gonna be forced to attack each other. I mean, I guess they could both expand downwards and get a second mill that way. But
I'm always curious in people's decision making when you have two options like that. Do I take the more bold expansion, gets me more map territory, but maybe it'll die, versus the safer one? But if you don't take that, expansion in the middle, and your opponent does, now taking it's going to be really rough.
I think.
Imagine if Snetch takes his, puts a balloon.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the balloons, I think it's really good for Snetch if he can. Snetch has an extra motivation to take this middle mill, so he can start setting up aggressive balloons. And then he can even hide behind those with his snakes and poke out.
You couldn't really ask for a better map for something like balloons here. Placing down a single balloon defends your base and puts a lot of pressure on the opponents. And
you're even going to get the scouting, so if you're going to get the vision, so that if Javella does try and move around and try and attack from the south, Snetch should have plenty of time to see that and respond appropriately. So the balloons are going to should work pretty well here. Overlay. Ooh, okay. I tabbed onto the matchup screen, so the overlay was broken.
And Boar seems like a good pick for small rush distances like this. It's so slow, so getting to your opponent's base, and plus you got this extra road in the middle, especially coming out from Jevla. But last time we saw Jevla kind of play solid and steady macro opening. I'm curious if they're going to try to go for that again, or if they're going to recognize maybe this map's too small. No, it looks like Jevla wants to take this 6 o'clock base.
Yeah, he's taking the safer expansion. Let's see if Snetch takes the riskier one. I think if you see your opponent take the safer one, then you definitely want to expand to the riskier mill.
Oh, for sure. Because that puts them in a horrible position. Yeah. Now it's going to be really hard for Jevla to take that one.
It looks like he's hanging around it. He's going to attack. Actually, he's not taking a mill yet.
Yeah, Snetch is thinking about moving in, or maybe just positioning the units. We'll see.
He has a slight army advantage, but not really enough to push on. He's going for tier 2. So I guess that means a push is unlikely. He could do some lizard harassment. He could take the lizards.
Building up some moles. I think at first maybe that was kind of to hunker down against an attack, but maybe now Jevla is thinking about getting aggressive here.
Oh, Snetch has taken the southern mill. I don't think that was the right call, but I mean, in all fairness, with balloons, he is going to have an easier time securing the mill later, so I think it's a wrong call, but it's a call that can still work out.
Yeah, and he can still place a nice balloon in such a way to defend all 3 of those bases, really.
God damn it, I keep forgetting to update the names.
It's all good. You are more try-hard than me, man. My overlay just says Fox and Badger.
Yeah, that's what I did last time, and I really should have done it this time, but I started updating the names, so now I've got to continue. Oops.
Nice attack from Snetch. He's definitely going to get that bill.
But Javella's coming in.
Oh, Commander.
Oh, that's huge. The Commander death. And now Snetch has a snake, and they're just standing in the skunk gas.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's huge for Snetch. He lost a couple of Warrens there, but still, that's a great clear up.
What's even worse about that too is the commander died in such a spot where the moles weren't quite in the aggro range to like just kind of go in anyway, so they all just like stood around and did nothing.
Okay. Snetch now has the eco lead, not by a huge amount, and he does need to spend some time rebuilding the Warrens that died, but... And he spent 60 food on this forward mill, which Javella is also doing. Interesting. Snetch is actually putting down a farm on this aggressive mill. I think this mill is useful to have just for the tanking, you know, throw off the moles and the squirrels a bit. But
yeah, for sure. The Snetch, you know, that expansion over to the northwest from Snetch, I mean, that's in such an ideal spot.
Yeah.
So that's super safe.
Okay. Javella is going to have the opportunity to come back, but Snetch has such an eco advantage and has for a while now that he's gonna need to move quickly, or perhaps sneak some mole plays. Like, I think it's worth considering from Javella's point of view to like try and see if you can hide some moles down by the southern, by Snetch's expansion.
Yeah.
And then pick it off.
You know, there actually is a high ground ramp over there.
Yeah.
Look closely at the minimap.
Yeah, he could come up there, and
but you'd also have to keep your commander out of position for a little while to get that done. Let's see. I mean, Jevla's down, but he's not out. You know, trying to get back into this game.
Snetch is just throwing away his lizards. I mean, if Snetch does that a few more times, Javella will be able to come back. That was 120 food that went in and got nothing done.
Ooh, Snetch commits to the boar, but Jevla scouts it immediately.
Yeah, so he's going to have time to respond. Well, we get the sell. I'm going for snakes. Usually when people sell the tier 3, they just go straight for either farms or multiple tier 1.
Oh, I bet what he's thinking is maybe he's hoping Jevla goes home and builds their own boar.
Yeah.
Right? And then now it's like, oh, I've got snakes.
Well, we've got another commander death, but Snetch wasn't around to micro's units, so they were getting skunked to hell and back.
Yeah, Jevla's got to be careful with those commander deaths, man. Especially against snakes, it can be difficult.
There goes the tier 2. Snetch lacking in the micro there. Epicosti came into the lobby because Gent assumed the game was going to end after Javella's first attack, but it's actually come back. Javella's only one farm behind.
Yeah, Javella's taken some decent engagements there. That last one started off a little bit weak because of commander death, but then afterwards picking off all that tier 2. Gets that tank mill out of the way.
Yeah, there is still the balloon behind it, and it's going to be hard for Javella to push into that.
Good sells by Snetch, by the way, going down a little bit on the tier 2. I'm not really convinced by the snakes right now. I think he a lot more lizards.
Yeah, I don't think he needs a snake. Snakes are really good at picking off. I mean, the armies aren't quite small enough for the snakes to make snakes be useful tanks, and you know, picking off the units before they can come up. They're not in that sort of situation. And there's only the skunks for Javella as tier 2 that needs to be picked off urgently, and extra lizards could accomplish that task much more efficiently. Okay, but right, maybe Snetch...
trying to get a little bit of snake poke there, but...
Maybe the poke will make it worth it, but there are... The moles are so good at tanking snake poke.
Yeah, especially with the pigeons here healing them.
You need multiple stacks of poison to kill a mole through pigeon healing. And Javella's actually overtaken Snetch on eco right now.
Yeah, Javella's doing a really good job of just trying to play safe and standard and wiggle their way back into this. And now we're kind of at like an even-ish spot. Again, you know, these snakes, Snetch has really got to make them work here, get some value, and definitely trying that. Coming in here, picking off a unit here.
He's trying to get the farm there. These forward farms are going to be quite hard for Javella to defend, but he's going to have a pretty nice eco lead soon. Although Snetch does go up to 8 farms as well. And Snetch is actually putting down a boar. I think this one will be for real.
Yeah, that's a good spot too. Javella is probably not going to commit to moving all the way over there to scout, especially with these armies so close to each other.
Javella has a nice army lead, so I think he can pretty safely get it out.
Nice pick off on that farm there, a little tussle in the middle. And if this game goes on forever, I think it is going to start favoring Javella because you know, those 2 mills in the bottom are pretty easy to take, and it's going to be hard for Snetch to establish this third here.
Yeah, so I think Snetch really needs to win it with the boar. He needs to win it before this base really starts to fallow, and one farm already has. The others aren't far behind. He does have the boar up, though. It is supply block, but it will get paid for, and... He's keeping Javella on his toes with the snake poke. He needs to be careful not to lose any of them.
Yeah, so far he's done a pretty good job of that. You know, he's kept these snakes alive. They get that extra regeneration for being reptiles here, so that definitely helps. So yeah, just coming in, grab a tier 1, rinse and repeat over time. I mean, it's like a budget fox.
Oh, the snakes don't quite get the extra tag on that pig. Oh, they might get that. Are they going to get a skunk? No.
Pigeon's actually healing the right target for once.
The snakes are being annoying at the very least.
Yeah, Snetch is doing a really good job of like
Javella goes for his boar, which means Snetch is in a really good spot to move in with his boar, although it's going to be a bit late. He needs to get these falcons out, but they're not fighting under the balloon. Oh, no.
Javella moving out right before the big boar is ready to roll. Got enough falcons here to try to contest it. But...
Snetch needs to sell probably the skunks or the balloon. The balloon is I might have actually considered keeping personally, but let's see if he can get. He needs to get these falcons down. The boar can't do it. He doesn't have anything to shoot up. He does get some farms with the boar bomb, but Javella's just going to move in, and Snetch needs to go back and sell. Sell.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage from Snetch, but the standing army for Javella here is just too much. Coming in, got plenty of moles to deal this extra crit damage. Going to target down the tier 2 first, and this might be critical damage here.
These moles going through the warrens like butter. Snetch isn't going to get the chance to get any units up. Oh, Snetch, you had this.
It was a really close match.
It was. But that's another point for the Foxes.
Yay.
It's not looking great.
Hooray, Fox. Alright, what are we on next? It looks like Epicosity should be ready to roll next.
Yeah.
And he's already here.
Okay, and this time I'm going to remember to update.
Yeah, do that. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Just start without me. I'll be back in a second.
Alright. Like, if Snetch had been able to... Snetch kind of forced that engagement by putting up the aggressive balloon. If he just stayed back, been a bit more patient, I think he would have won. Because if that boar had got there while he still had his army up, he should have had an easier time. He should have had an easy time focusing down all those falcons. Okay. Now, Epicosity is our ringer in the lightweight division. Let's see if he can pull back a point. Javella's sticking with the same deck. Epicosity, Squirrel Lizard, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk, Snake. I think this is what he used against Child. It's just a pretty solid deck. Good all-rounder.
Alright, I am here. Doesn't look like I missed a whole lot.
Yeah, you missed 30 seconds and it's just both. Scouting. Epicosity going for an aggression.
Ooh,
going for a 5-farm
Javella
warren.
not going to see it? Oh, nice job.
Javella does see it
there.
just before the lizard starts building.
And that's a pretty short rush distance. Oh, Epicosity faking it though.
Yeah, but that might actually be a problem because now Javella's got the opportunity to push.
Let's see if Javella commits to the war.
No,
Nope's going to sell it off. But I agree. I think that might have been the move because the rush distance is pretty short here. You get 2 squirrels together, go pick off a farm.
Yeah, even squirrels can cross this distance pretty quickly.
This is a kind of a big, weird map here. Javella's got 2 pocket expansions, which are pretty nice. There is like a couple sneaky entrances into that area. Maybe Epicosity can abuse those with lizards.
Well, one of them means going through all this water. Or, you know, around the entire edge of the map. Like, that's going to be a big time commitment if he does go for it. It might be right, but there's so much water around Javella's entrances that Epicosity's going to get slowed down a lot.
Yeah, I think if you were going to go for that complete run around with the lizards, you'd probably have to just, like... rally them in and get out of there, you know what I mean, and keep doing whatever it is you got to do, and then it's like, all right, the lizards will do whatever damage they can and die.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be useful if Epicosity is like, if Epicosity ends up in a position where he needs to pin it all in a base race. That's a really good place to hide his lizards while he can do it. and then Javella's going to have to spend a long time coming back.
Javella wants to take this into a macro game already. Built that extra, went into 3 warrens before the natural. I think that was the right call because of rush distance.
Epikosti is getting his own expansion up. He's already got the tier 2 building as well. Let's see how many farms he goes for. He's going for 4 skunks straight off. No, he sells that.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried for Javella here because of skunks from Epikosti, but Javella getting their own skunks up and rolling.
Interesting play by Epikosti. He's hiding the second skunk warren. He doesn't want
it's in a good spot.
He doesn't want Javella to see it. And that can be a big deal. Like, if you
4
think
skunks is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's a big leap up from 2, and if you think your opponent's only got 2 skunks, and suddenly you're caught unprepared by 4, that could...
Now the question is has Javella got in to see there's no additional farms on that second base?
He has, but he'd probably expect a tier 3 or a ninja expand rather than the extra tier 2. So he might try and do a counter push. He's building a lot of moles.
Epikosti looking to move in, but this is a little bit of an awkward spot, having to run through that water up the high ground. Javella losing the commander again.
And that's going to be a dead skunk for no units. Like, Epikosti doesn't lose a single squirrel there. And, okay, this is what I was going to say. Epikosti needs to build some pigeons just to give him the high ground vision. It's not only going to be, like, pair well with his skunks and counter Javella's skunk gas, but giving him the high ground vision is, like, super important.
I was going to say 9 feels like too many, and I guess Epikosti agreed, sold down to 6. And here comes the poke. Epikosti really wants to get something done. Javella is a farm ahead.
Yeah.
That's not really that big of a deal. Oh, there's the boar. All right, that's a good play.
Javella staking his life on the boar. Can he get it out? He's all right in army. He's actually ahead in army. But I don't know if that's going to hold because most of that army's tier 1 and there's 4 skunks for Epikosti.
Yeah, Javella really needs to just turtle into the main base. I think get rid of these moles because trying to drag out through that water and through the established gas from Epikosti is just so rough.
This water is now working against Javella. He's trying to get his own skunks up as well.
Move out was a big mistake there.
Now, is Javella even going to be able to pay for this boar? No,
probably gonna have to sell off.
He's gonna have to sell off something.
Ooh, needs to sell more than that. Javella also trying to get up 2 skunks or 4 skunks, and
the boar is paid for, and Epikosti hasn't scouted it. Epikosti is mainly with tier 1, and tier 1 of skunk isn't great at killing a boar. So if Javella gets it out, and it's already 20 seconds in.
Yeah, it looks like Javella might get away with it, and that boar is going to be what saves the day or breaks it. Epikosti, without scouting it, is big unfortunate. You know, he's got snakes, he's got falcons. Yeah,
he's got the counters. He's just so busy poking. He hasn't actually scouted. But he's had a few opportunities where he could have just moved in. He's been ahead in army in a big way for a long time. And finally, he's going to start breaking in. But the boar is going to come out. Like, is Epikosti going to get enough damage done? Because the boar by itself should get overwhelmed. But he needs to turn around and fight it. He shouldn't run away here. But you can't retreat from tier 3s. Don't. Turn around. Fight.
Flamethrower getting some work in. Epikosti trying to get out of there. A lot of the skunks being left behind. Epikosti also took a pretty significant economic advantage.
Yeah, but how long is that going to last now that the boar's on that mill?
Oh no, just target the mill. It does so much more damage.
Epikosti needs to start fighting. He's too scared of this boar. 18 squirrels probably would have been able to focus it down. But he's going for a base race? Maybe?
Oh, can Javella sniff that out? And even if they do, it doesn't have enough money to build another mill here.
Nah.
Javella needs to take this fight, I feel like. I don't know. That's a lot of units from Epikosti.
Okay, Epikosti's now coming in from the back, but he's retreating again. You can't retreat. Like, look, the squirrels are taking all this damage and not getting anything done. And now Epikosti has no warrens. Oh.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think Epikosti just needed to stand their ground and take the fight, you know?
Oh, Epikosti You are our hope. And now it's down to 5-1. The Foxes are getting a big lead.
And we've got
Okay.
Rabid Lead. No, I got a replay pack from Rabid Lead. So are we skipping over those games and we're gonna cast those on my channel later?
I think that we're just supposed to go straight into them. That's what Gent is saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've got them ready to roll.
Yeah.
I see what's going on.
You have them as well?
I am ready. Looks like we're going to go into Snatch versus Rabin.
Alright. Let me scroll through the dozens of... Alright. So, on 3 then.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be relatively synced. Alright. Let me sort out...
Right, so in the bottom left, Rabid Lead against the opponent. Snatch to the right. We've got some ferrets this game. No tier 3 from Rabin. Does have the Squizzard, though, and the Squizzard can get a lot of work done. And Snatch rocking that boar. So we have, actually, there's like quite a bit of variance here. I mean, well, I guess 3 units. Like Squirrel, Skunk, and Falcon overlap for both players. But other than that, they're fairly different compositions here.
Yeah, I mean... 3 units is 50%.
And this is another weird map. It's almost mirrored in a way, though. I mean, I like it better for Snatch, but neither player can really complain. They both have reasonable access to 3 bases here. It's kind of a short map, so we might see some aggressive play, and this could be good for the ferrets. You know, if Rabin Lee can get set up on his natural on the high ground here, you know, get some warrens and stuff, have a nice spot for his ferrets to kind of poke in, retreat back to. Plus all this road as well to speed them up.
Yeah. Okay, so no aggression. Going 8 farms, both players, is a bit of an odd map, but it should go to 3-3.
Yeah, I'm curious if we'll even see how much economy we'll see. It is really small. Maybe we just get some 2 base play here. Rabin Lee trying to get that second base established pretty quickly. I don't blame him. You know, that high ground is really important. And no defense though, man. I just keep drooling thinking about how good like a balloon would be here.
Yeah, I mean, with the mills like getting quite close together and there being so much water on the map, which kind of cuts off one avenue, or at the very least slows it down so much and the balloon can get masses of shots off.
Surprisingly, we've got a little bit of some eco openings here. Rabin Lee gonna put on some
Raven's
pressure.
coming in. I think Snitch should be able to hold here if he micros right, but he's gone back to sell. Maybe a bit of panic there. And that's actually given, like him moving back to sell, let Raven go through that Warren really quickly. And I think Raven just snowballs from here.
Yeah, this is going from bad to worse for Snatch very quickly. I'm surprised so much damage got done. I guess like his commander wasn't there for a second is what you're saying, and he didn't micro.
Yeah, he went back to, as soon as he saw Raven coming in, he ran backwards to sell one of the farms he put on this second expansion, but he really didn't need to. He had 4 squirrels. He could easily have just stood in the Warren and focused down Raven. Yeah,
and this looks like it's leaning towards a quick victory for Raven here. Snatch, it's going to be rough for him to come back. He does have a bunch of tier 1 Warrens, but I mean, Raven is
losing
just
a bunch
so
of them
far
as well.
ahead. Another nice, quick game.
Yeah.
How you holding up, Josh?
Snitch is I mean, I'm sad. It's not going well for the Badgers. We're gonna have to.
Hey, this is just it's hyping up for your comeback.
Yeah,
story,
we're gonna have to make quite a comeback. I don't like having that amount of weight on my shoulders, though. I'm
got a lot.
I'm hoping Jacoby turns up.
Checked in today, or are you gonna be in 6 matches?
I don't know. I think Gent will let me know. closer to time, but I haven't seen Jacoby in chat or anything. And
Snatch
is
mustered
just...
up a decent amount of units here, but Rabin's just got too much, man.
He has over double the eco. And it just... Snatch, there's no way he can hold on.
Good job from Rabin, you know, like taking a early lead and just sealing the deal with it.
Took the early lead and held on to it. Okay, so we should go to Epicosity.
Yes, sir. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
All right, let's see if Epicosity can get a point on the board here against Raven Lead, who's rocking the Toad Snake Wolf this time around.
Yeah, interesting. First Toads we've seen today, I'm pretty sure.
You know, Toads are a little bit... I mean, you play more than I do, but I feel like Toads are a little bit of a sleeper, man. I mean,
yeah.
They can get some work done.
Yeah, I think they're kind of underrated. It's just that when Toads fail, they fail hard.
That makes sense, yeah.
Alright, and the stuff that makes them fail, like the Skunk Falcon, is very common, and it's really hard to get the Toads in against stuff like that. But
plus, I think you have a little bit of overlap with the moles, because it's like, well, what are Toads really good at? They're good at slamming down Warrens, you know, if you can get up to connect, but moles can do that as well, so...
apparently I am playing for Jacoby, so that's going to be fun. All that pressure. Would it be nicer to have a bit more of a cushion? Epicosity going for 5 farm triple.
Oh, he's not messing around, man. These are lizards too, which makes this even more deadly.
It is
Raven Lead does scout it.
It's
so
a
let's
very
see if
short
he's
rush distance. Okay, he sells one of them. He sells one of them and he's going to come in. Probably pick off this pig since the rush distance is so small. Okay, that's good. That actually gives him an eco lead. He needs to just make sure he doesn't lose on the counter attack.
He doesn't want to fly block his production here.
Yeah.
That's the thing you got to be careful. Like that red lizard it's not what you want unless he's not going to commit to more attacks. If he's saying like, all right, I got one pig.
He also needs to defend, and if you go behind with lizards against squirrels, especially when the squirrels have such a short distance to walk, it's going to be impossible for him to build up numbers. Oh, and Raven has got the toads. Okay.
All right, looks like Raven was just poking in, kind of thinking about if they wanted to commit in or not. And Epicosity is going to tech switch out of the lizards. This is a little bit of an opening here for Raven if he sniffs it out. All right, he is going to move in.
Okay. Epic has seen the toads. The toads are probably going to get at least... The toads are probably going to get some serious damage done, though. Like, it's such a tight area. Oh, this is not good.
That was a really good connection with those toads there. Oh man, nice. That toad doesn't quite make it, but this just might be too much damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's so many Warrens gone.
Oof.
Epicosity was floating nearly 200 food, which is so much in this sort of early aggression.
Chat's yelling at you to update the scoreboard.
Yeah, I saw.
I should help remind you of that. I'm a terrible co-caster here.
I mean, forward Warrens, that's always a risky run, especially with lizards. Yep. Lizards can't use Warren tanking at all, really. So.
And it probably was a little bit of an unnecessary risk on this map. You know, you got lizards. It's a short rush distance, anyways.
Yeah.
And Epicosity has a decent amount of squirrels here. Yeah. Might be able to clean
might be able to hold off. Can he come back though?
I think he feels like he's gonna lose this game in the long run, and he needs to take advantage of the tempo he's got. No, keep going in. He had such a lead.
Yeah.
No.
I think
that was the right call, but he changed his mind at the last second.
Yeah, I don't think he can win the long game, but that's what he's trying to do now.
Well, Raven's still on one base and threw down the Skunk Warren, so it is going to give Epicosity some time. But, ooh, Epic actually sells off the expansion.
Yeah, Raven is only one farm ahead. Maybe Epic can get something.
Yeah, for how many Warren's Epicossi lost, these unit counts aren't looking that different.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite surprised by that. He lost so many Warrens. He lost like 3 tier 1 Warrens, 4 tier 1 Warrens, plus he lost a mill.
They're both going into double tier 2. Raven still hasn't taken an expansion. Now is about the time you got to start thinking about it.
Yeah.
That 5-minute mark.
Okay, he's taking one
approaching.
now.
And we might go into Snake Skunk versus Double Skunk here if the game lasts that long.
I think the Snake Skunk should win. It depends if... I mean, it kind of depends on focus fire, because if Raven uses his squirrels to really focus down the snakes...
If Epicossi can get those snake stacks on the skunks, then yeah, I think he's got that. But Raven's not going to wait around for those snakes to get here, though. Push
I mean,
again.
Raven is going to push with the advantage he's got, and it's the right call to do so. If Epic can just get the squirrels, though, he can possibly save his pig or the mill.
Oh, nice defense from Epicossi, though. Raven really committed again here. Going to lose all the tier 2.
Yeah, and the pig does survive. The mill does survive. The skunks are going down. That should be a dead skunk. Is that enough to bring Epicossi back into this?
I think so. I think Epicossi's in pretty decent shape now. That mill surviving was huge.
Yeah.
And Raven still hasn't committed any farms on that second base yet.
Now, Raven still does have a lot of tier 1, and Epicossi's still only got 1 skunk.
Yeah, unfortunately, Raven really doesn't have much to deal with these snakes here. These toads are okay, but like you were saying earlier, not the best against skunks.
That's a really nice skunk spread. And the skunk even survives for Epicossi. And Raven's going to surrender there. Epicossi somehow manages to bring that back. And the Badgers finally get a second point.
Great job from Epicossi there, playing from behind and getting back into the game.
Whew.
So that leaves us with Rush versus Rabin.
Now where is that?
And then that is when I shall leave the desk and put on my player pants.
Yeah, because then isn't that us? No, it's Eel. It's Eel, Melvin, and then it's us.
Right.
So, but yeah, you'll be in the game. So yeah, obviously you'll leave.
I think on game 12 is where I boot up my stream. We both play our games live, and then starting on game 13, we stay over on TNT TV.
Yeah.
That way you can hop out for the other games you need to play, and we can keep casting.
Yeah. All right then. Plan. So, yeah, Raven versus Rush. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do it.
Now, I'm not going to forget to update the thingamadoodle this time.
And Raven rocking that ferret balloon, but this is what's rough about those kinds of units sometimes, man. This is not the RNG you're looking for on the map for that composition here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that long rush distance, like, there's no mills that are within range of each other. It's definitely not the type of thing that's suitable for a poking deck like this.
I mean, that would be really cool if Raven could, like, take one of these cabins, establish a position there with some balloons and stuff, but that's a little bit of, like, magical Christmas land thinking, It'd be cool if it happens, but...
Okay, so... Now, something that is a big deal here. Raven has the toads, and Rush only has lizards as his tier 1.
Yeah, and that's another one of these unfortunate things. Toads aren't super meta nowadays, so a lot of times you can get away with if you really have a reason for, not running squirrels. I typically don't advise it, but some people can make it happen.
I think Rush's deck would be a lot safer if he cut the mines to put in squirrels.
Yeah.
Toads are also quite good against chameleons in certain ratios, because they do that big burst damage.
Right.
If you try and mass chameleon, then you can get toad hits on a lot of them.
Alright, so this is probably going to be a macro game. I mean, it's a nice big map. Both players have access to 4 mills.
Yeah.
And Rush, I think, does have the better late game ultimate composition. I mean, well, you got to put a little bit of an asterisk next to that because, I mean, Balloon Ferret in mass is actually pretty good too.
Yeah, ferrets are weird. Like, once you get to, like, they sort of scale not very well and then start scaling really well. Like,
Right.
once you get to like 6 or 8 ferrets, suddenly they just have a huge leap up in power. But 2 or 4
Right, yeah.
is not like too much.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, Skunk Falcon is pretty strong. I always love to see people play that Cam Falcon Wolf style,
Yeah.
though. I think it's a really cool way
Wolf
to
buff
play.
chameleons are just utterly insane. They are
Yeah.
so
I mean,
powerful.
if you're gonna play Wolf, you might as well bring the chameleons
Yeah,
along.
and Wolf Falcon has been a staple for ever, I think.
Pretty much. Oh, Sneaky Mimes
Yeah.
here from Rush, but Raven does scout him
see
out.
them, and that'll be a quick 40 food he can pick off.
Nice job from Raven there, getting a little bit lucky with that scout, but also at the same time doing his diligence. You know, that's why he picked it up. He's looking around. He's checking for things, and both sides still ecoing up pretty hard here. Balloon,
Speaking of-
Ferret's coming down.
Yeah, speaking of scouting, Rush hasn't actually seen the ferrets, the tier 2. He's once again really lacking on his scouting. It's a recurring problem with Rush.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of an issue in these games. Maybe something they can learn from moving forward. And I think both players are flirting with just getting full 2-base saturation here. There it is. And let's see. I mean, Raven can start trying to sneak these balloons up a little bit further and further. Maybe grab that cabin.
Yeah. I do think that this map does sort of play to Rush's strengths a bit more, because it's a map that he can be much greedier on. He does get a scout
Yeah.
there, but I don't think he got up the hill, so I don't know.
Oh
He
my
didn't
God,
see any of the
Raven's
tier
gonna do
2.
it.
Can the ferrets
No,
reach
no,
from
don't
here?
give it away. I would have waited, man. You gotta wait till that campfire is done cooking. Now Rush knows
Oh,
what's
the
up.
Falcons can hit.
What's up.
He needs to not run his lizards through there, but the Falcon does get
Oh
at
my
least
God,
one
you
ferret.
actually can't. Oh, I just noticed this. Rush can't get up there.
No, he can't. He's got the Falcons to give it, and the pigeons
The
to give him
only
high
way
ground
Rush
vision,
can
but
get in is through Raven's second
yeah,
base.
he has to go round.
Oh my God, that
Like,
is
it's completely
huge.
blocked off at the top by trees. He has to go all the way around along the road.
I wonder if Raven realizes that. I would be such a jerk with balloons up there, man. But then again, if you commit to that too
Well,
hard,
I mean,
Rush-
it's so hard to get the. You need the campfire. That's 60 food in 20 seconds. Then you need the balloon. That's 120 seconds. That's 120 food plus 20 seconds. And this entire time, Rush has the pigeons and the falcons that can just quickly rattle them down.
yeah,
Such
that
a
is true.
risky play.
And Rush is building enough Falcons where, you know, 1 or 2 balloons is not going to
Okay.
keep those ferrets safe.
Well, here comes a greed. Rush is trying to go for a wolf. Raven is coming in. Rush should hold back until the wolf is paid for. He can actually afford to just sacrifice this mill entirely. That's what I would do. He just wants to stall for time at the moment. Raven does have a much bigger army by the graph. And some of that is balloon, but not enough. So Raven could probably move in pretty safely. But he's not. He's pulling back. He's fine with just the mill. He's playing it safe, which might end up being more dangerous.
We got the wolf on the way here from Rush. He's built up a lot of tier 2.
We've also got both players floating 200 food.
This is a really good late game army composition Rush is putting together, though.
Yeah.
And I think next time he moves out for that third base, he can really plant his flag down there and defend it more properly.
Yeah.
I mean, that shocker we were just looking at where that high ground, you know, Rush has no access to, that works both ways. I mean, Raven, he's only got the one attack path as well.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Rush spending more of this food. He's nearly at 500. Just
Yeah,
slam
lots
down,
of floating
just slam
here.
down lizards. At this point,
Yeah, just a whole bunch of lizards would be great.
because at the moment, I'm kind of worried about how much damage these 6 toads will do to the chameleons. With the 6
Yeah, that-
falcons as well, there could be a lot of DPS very quick.
That is true.
All
This
right.
engagement might come down to those toe connections here.
Ooh,
Rush
has realised he can
gonna
attack from the
all
high
out
ground,
here.
but now he's trapped. He's got no retreat. But
Oh, those Falcons get up in front
Raven's
of
army
everything
gets
else.
separated.
What is happening?
Oh,
Who's
keep
winning?
that wolf
Rush
alive!
winning?
Keep the wolf alive! Go on, Rush. Good boy.
Raven losing some Warrens there, but Raven did sneak out a fully saturated third
Yeah,
base recently.
I think Rush is probably fine to keep pushing though. I mean,
He's
the
still
float
up
is
there.
now helping him because he can resupply really quickly.
It was a calculated float,
Hmm.
man. He was just leaving that money there so he could rebuild.
Now, he does have a huge army advantage, so he can move in. One balloon isn't going to do that much. But he's trying to attack from the high ground. He is picking off a Falcon. And some tier 2 ones. It's not nothing.
And the problem last time, the Ravens Falcons
Yeah.
ended up being first to show up, and
Oh, keep the wolf back! Oh, Rush. Rush just forgets about the Falcon, the wolf. He's too busy killing a
he has
tier 1
so
Warren.
many
But he is still getting a lot of damage
Falcons
done. I mean, honestly, he kind of needs to commit at some point, though. He's not going to win in the long game. He doesn't have the eco.
yeah, and more of the tier 2 from
He needs
Raven
to
here just kind
focus
of
down that balloon.
And this is going to be hard for Rush to rebuild. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of tier 3 Warrens. He doesn't have an economy. He needs to go home and sell things off and build what he can.
Sell the wolf, and that's going to get most of his army back. Also, pull your cam back. Good. Okay, he does sell the wolf. He still needs time to rebuild, but
This has become an economic thing, though. Rush took a couple good fights there. But Raven just being a full saturated base ahead.
yeah. I mean, if Rush can muster up his full army one more time, he should be able to push through and destroy this mill.
Yeah, he's still got a powerful comp. I mean, 4 Cam, 4 Falcons is nothing to
Big
bat an
sell.
eye at, but I'd like to see some more lizards. But yeah, all the pigs going fallow here.
Okay, big sell, and he's going to put that all into eco.
He's hoping that Raven leaves him alone for a minute.
I mean, he doesn't need too long, and he does have an army that can defend this.
Lots of more Warrens
But he
coming down
shouldn't
here from
try and
Raven.
push in at the moment.
Yeah, he just needs to kind of like feign strength. You
Yeah.
know? Like, hey, you don't want to mess with me.
He needs to pretend to move in. The pigs are built, and that evens up the economy a lot. Still a pretty solid amount of time before Raven starts following here, though, and Rush is going to overtake. So,
Yeah, Raven still harvested a lot more food this game than Rush has, and we'll see. I mean, he's got a lot of tier 1. I think Rush's army is really, really relying on the chameleons to be the front lines here. And once you get like a certain number of squirrels, you can kind of
just
target down the chameleons pretty quickly.
yeah. I think Raven's getting to the point where he can move in. His army's taking a significant jump up, and it looks like he's thinking about it. Man, if only Rush had kept that wolf alive. There was no reason for the wolf to be so exposed.
As long as Raven's tier 2 doesn't get too far ahead, I think this could be a good engagement. He's slowly
Okay.
rallying. He's going to bring these skunks up here again, and he needs to be careful with those. There we go. The toad's trying to move in.
Alright,
They're gonna
how
get
good are these
sections on
for?
the camp.
Cam's gonna be. They're getting gunned down so quickly by all the falcons and the squirrels, and this looks like it's GG. Rush
Yeah,
just
Raven
didn't have
did a
enough
good
tier
job with
1.
the toad micro there. He actually held them back, waited for the cams, and blasted in. That was huge. And it looks like I am next to play, so I'm gonna take a quick 30-second break and be ready to roll.
Alright.
So, wish me luck to put some more points on the board.
I will not.
You must say it. Good luck, Delphius.
No, I refuse.
Alright, man. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, one way or another. I will see you soon. Oh boy. That is disappointing. Snatch, Rush really could have had that. And the Badgers are not having a great time this evening. Alright, so now we get into the heavyweight section. No, I don't want to actually... Okay, so we're looking at Eel versus Delphius. And it's a first to 11, so the Foxes are actually getting pretty close. They only need 4 wins. Now, can Eel start the comeback for the Foxes? Alright, here we go. Squirrel, Lizard, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Fox against Squirrel, Lizard, Cam, Snake, Owl, Balloon. So Delphius is going for, you know, his assigned tier 3, bringing out the Fox. Eel has the Owl, which is going to be a good Fox counter. He's also got the Balloon, which is a nice Fox counter, and the Lizards, a nice Fox counter. So he's got options. The Moles from Delphius give him a bit more early game punch. Oh, Eel going for an aggressive 5-farm double Lizard, but Delphius isn't going to scout this. Delphius is scouting the rest of the map. This has got a good chance of working as long as Eel doesn't supply block himself by putting down a farm. Okay. Eel's coming in. Let's see what he can do. He's got 2 Lizards. He wants to pick off this corner pig. Oh god, no! If he doesn't get this pig, it's a disaster. Fortunately, the pig wasn't in the right position. Oh, and he loses a 3rd, so that's not a great rush. Who's going to cast Tosh versus Delphius? We're both going to stream our own perspectives. And so we're sort of both casting it. Both of us and no one is the answer. But yeah, the pig there was too close. It was on the wrong corner. If it's on the outside corner, 2 pigs can get it. 2 lizards can get it because of there's fewer pigs that can actually shoot the lizards. Unfortunately, the pig was on the inside, so Eel had to go deeper. Now we did end up getting it. It was about a 60 food for 60 food trade, so he's broken even. Although Eel is able to go for double on his expansion. Delphius, sorry. Delphius is now coming around with his lizards. He could get some serious damage done here. Eel probably wasn't expecting an attack from the water. Oh, and I do like this response though. Just gonna... Oh no, I think Eel was better off just attacking with his squirrels. Instead he moves back, and now he's just not going to get anything done. If he'd moved in, then Delphius had only 6 squirrels. The lizards were dead. The moles wouldn't have been built. He could have got some serious damage done there. Probably picked off 2 farms of his own. Okay, Eel is now going to have to eco up pretty hard, which gives Delphius a chance to move in. And Eel's only got squirrels to hold. Oh no, Delphius is going back and he's going to go for skunks. Eel's got a chance to, you know, even up with economy. Delphius going for a big Squizzard comp though. What's Eel going to scout here? He does see the tier 2. Sees the farms. It's a good scout. Delphius doesn't get... Oh, he does actually manage to scout the mill here. Eel going for the snakes. I would have... I think Cams might have been better against Skunk Squizzard. Like, snake get really focused down by the lizards hard. Oh, and Delphius hiding down some moles. Also getting up to 16 farms. It's looking good for Delphius. Eel slamming down a balloon. Maybe if he gets it up, that will be enough to turn the tide, but it looks like Delphius wants to attack from the other side anyway. Okay, Delphius brings his lizards too far forward. The balloon isn't quite up, but it does come up as the fight's still going on. One farm does go down. Delphius does get the snakes and is able to get away with his skunks, so it's definitely a win for Delphius, but not by a huge amount. But he was already so far ahead in income that Eel can't really afford to trade evenly. He sells the balloon, tries to put it into economy, but Eel is just steadily falling further and further behind. Delphius is now feeling safe enough to go for his tier 3. Get the fox. Eel might want to try and think about going for his own tier 3. You know, get a big comeback unit in the shape of an owl. Now, Eel didn't scout this tier 3, did he? No, he hasn't. Okay, now there is a possibility that Delphius loses this fox. There are cams and lizards and a lot of stuff to, you know, smack it down very quickly. Fox is always only one miss micro away from death. Eel looks like he might be thinking about coming in, which would be alright timing. He needs to be really careful with these snakes though against these lizards. And looks like the fox is going to get out. I think Eel wants to put up some forward balloons. Eel also has chameleons at the back, which is not the right place for him. Comes in, but there's just so many lizards for Delphius. Delphius is going to clear this up, and I think that's GG. This is not looking good. Yeah, this is 8-2. Eel just wants to get the fox as a moral victory. But he's not going to get the chance. Alright. We're going to have Melvin coming in next. Boss Melvin. He needs to rescue his gang. He needs to turn this around. And then after him, it's me. Like, I really don't want to have, like... It won't quite be the last game, but it'll be pretty close. And we still got Mishi to go through. I mean, Eel in that last game, he didn't... Delphius got the 2 farms from the Lizard Rush, the Lizard Run By, and then ever since then, Eel was just playing catch-up. He needed to take a bigger risk to sort of leapfrog ahead, but he was playing a bit standard. I should have beat Javelle. Yeah, you should have. Not really much I can do to cushion the blow there. Alright, so here we go. Squirrel Mole, Falcon Skunk, Snake Owl against Squirrel Pigeon, Falcon Skunk, Boar Owl. Yes, you are, Coloru, but the tournament might be over before we get to your games. Okay, so both players have the owls. Melvin likes to take things into long game, and with his double tier 3, he's going to be well suited for that. Delphius does have the Falcon Snake though, so he can hit the boar pretty hard. Oh, scoreboard is... Yeah, I was still on the matchup sheet. Why has it gone so quiet? Alright, well, Raven actually expanding first, which I didn't expect. Are we going to see Melvin move in with squirrels? No, he's going to sell Squirrel Warren and just start to build up. I was just about to say, I really didn't like how that one was placed. I'm glad that he sold and replaced it. Okay, Melvin likes to go really greedy with his second base, so we'll see how he handles this. He's got the tier 2 coming up, so he should be able to defend. He should have it, at least one skunk ready by the time Delphius thinks about coming in. Delphius with a lot of squirrels could possibly get a decent push done, but instead he's just going to outgreed Melvin. Melvin is hanging back, probably expecting Delphius to attack. And now he's going to go looking for moles, which is just delaying his scouting all the more. And it's a big deal because he needs to know that Delphius is actually ahead of him in economy. He won't be for long. Melvin going up to 15 farms as quickly as he can. Okay, Melvin just scouts the mill. Delphius gets a mostly full scout. Doesn't see the back half of the mill. He's probably going to assume that Melvin has 8 farms there. Oh, and he's hiding the owl all the way over here. Now, is he going to put down these farms? Or does he think that Delphius... Does he think that Melvin only has 5 farms on this mill? Because that's a big deal. Melvin also going for a boar, getting zone tier 3 out. Should be possible to hold. Okay, that's a full scout from Delphius, even gets a tier 3. No tier 3 from Melvin, well, no scouting, but it's a really awkward place for him to scout it. So, that's to be expected. Okay. Melvin going for his falcons. Falcon boar is a strong composition. Delphius is going to get up his snakes and try and target down the boar quickly as he can. That's sometimes a lot easier said than done, though. The boar needs a lot of snake tanks to actually kill it. But the slowing movement does add up. If Melvin has a decent number of tier 1, he's got a lot of pigeons, so it's going to be really hard to focus the boar. That's what I'd expect to happen, and there's a decent chance that the boar survives. The pigeons are also good against the owl in general, because they help you withstand the mice, so you don't lose as many units. The boar's good at clearing up tier 1, so he'll be good at clearing up the mice. The falcons are obviously really good at clearing up the mice, because the mice can't hit them. Okay, it looks like Melvin wants to move out. We'll see how this fight goes. Delphius is going to have the mill for a bit of tanking. We'll see if that's enough. The mice come in. The mill goes down. No more mill tanking. But Melvin's units are very clumped up together and taking a lot of damage. The owl nearly goes down, but it does get away. So does the boar. No tier 3 is dead. But Melvin looks like he does take the better end of that engagement. Economies are both even, but Delphius is floating so much food that, you know, Melvin should have the edge just for having his food spent. And indeed, look at this jump in the army graph. Oh, Delphius is actually ahead on economy though with this campfire. I didn't notice that earlier on. So Delphius will be able to get up. Melvin now trying to get a third base, because actually that's the only possible third base he can take. I didn't notice the map was so Delphius favoured. Okay. Now Melvin is going to have the mill tanking. That's going to be really useful against mice, because they can't focus fire away. Melvin's pushing in. If he gets these snakes, then he can get the owl. The boar is so healthy right now. The falcons are mostly dead for Melvin, but there's still enough, and there's a good amount of pigeons keeping everything alive. Delphius is now starting to lose farms. He can't go back and sell his tier 3 one, and Melvin is going to take the win. And the badgers, maybe, just maybe, their hopes are still alive. Alright. Now we're going for... Oh, shoot, it's me. Oh, dear. The pressure. Now, Delphius is going to start his stream as well. To stream his perspective. So... I'll wait for him to get that set up. Okay, there's quite a lot riding in this game. If I win this, then Melvin gets to go against Kolaru. Melvin gets to come back in. Hopefully he can beat Mishi. Then I've got to fight Kolaru and Mishi. Then we've got Eel versus Kolaru and Mishi. And I think Mishi is definitely the favourite heavily in that Eel game, in most of his games. Let's assume Mishi wins at least 2 games. Then that's going to put the Foxes at 10. Oh, don't jinx it, gent. Bastard. Okay. This is my first game of the day. I've had no warm-ups. I'm not feeling too confident. But, you know, weirder stuff has happened. Okay, good map, at least, for what I want to do. I think Dell is favoured, but I don't think it's by much. Oh shit, hang on. There. Now, he does take moles sometimes, so I've got to keep an eye out for that. But I do want to play greedy here. Protect me, cabin. You're my only hope. Okay, good. He sold as well. So, I win for selling more. You know what? I keep getting distracted by chat. It's going away. Ooh, come on, Artie, get up. You know you want to. He can have that other meal, it's a dummy. Looks like mostly cams. If I stick an arty here, can I reach over there? This is getting increasingly degenerate. He's getting a lot of falcons, which is understandable. No, there's no way reaches, does it? Yeah, he's got the fox, but we kind of don't care. Oh, it does reach. Who's winning? Am I winning? I think I'm winning. It's hard to tell. Oh, that's a bad... I mean, I think I'm getting enough falcons to make this worth it. Maybe. Mass Snake isn't something I usually play with, but... really need to be careful. Oh, I'm losing too many owls. But we got a lot of damage done. Oh shit! I didn't see that I'd lost my... Okay, that's a dead fox. I'm also on one farm, but he can't be on many either. I think our goal is to make him starve. I'm really hoping there isn't like a bottom base in the corner that he's had this entire time. Ah, I gotta micro those owls a lot better. Okay, we gotta go. Come on, I think we're gonna do this. Yes! Woo! Come on, Badgers! We can do this! We gotta believe! Oh, fuck me. Oh. Okay. Right, I am gonna... On that note, I am gonna hit Del up with a raid. And I will see you all on his channel in a moment. Oh boy. Come on, Badgers. We can do this. I don't know how the raid works, actually. Does the raid work on the delay? I'll wait until the game's definitely finished. Alright.
What's up? How were you starving out?
Yes.
I was like, how the hell is he still alive? I was like scouting in the south, like what happened?
Oh my god, it was so scary. I had I had like 30 seconds left.
I was like scratching my head, like, dude, he's got to have some more money or something. I mean, it's crazy how efficient you can be with Snake Owl.
Yeah. Snake Owl and Artie, the combo that no one knew they needed.
Well, very well played. I was just looking at the replay here, scratching my head, like, how is he not starving out?
I think actually I might want to go back and save that replay.
That was definitely
a good
one.
game.
I didn't really have a lot to deal with it. Like, I had Skunk Falcon, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't enough. It wasn't efficient. Every time you came in, you just got so much more efficient.
I was worried that you were actually gonna do it because I threw away a few owls. With the Falcon Fox combo, it's actually pretty good at killing the owls.
Yeah, but you just had too many mice for me to deal with. Okay, yeah. Maybe I should have tried to hold on and see if you could have starved. You were starving before me, but you busted through. Nicely done. Okay. Now we should be back onto some live matches here.
Should still be final, and it shouldn't matter if I forget to do the overlay anymore.
Man, I've got the Lazy Boy scoreboard, so we're good to go. It is 8 to 3, 8
to 4 is what I've got.
8 to 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had. Okay. Bam. Nice. Okay.
So it's.
I've got the lobby open, or do you already have one?
I think they're still in the final. I left, but they're in final again. So just search for that.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So it's Colaru versus Melvin.
Nice. All right, so we're heading into some more heavyweight matches. Oh, did they start without us?
I'm there.
Oh no, yeah, we're good. I think they literally like right as I joined in, they started. Good. So in the bottom right, we got Kalaru up top, Melvin Fro, and Kalaru rocking Owl Fox. A fun little way to get it going, and Melvin still has that boar.
Yeah, Melvin, he likes his boar.
So double tier 3 from both sides here. And we'll have to see where these guys want to take it. Nice big map. Definitely looks better for Kalaru. He's got easy access to 3 bases. Melvin's got 1 natural that's a bit spread out in this. It's like 8 o'clock base is kind of up for grabs.
8 o'clock. Down here in the corner, like by the water. Yeah, I guess. It's so far out of the way that, like, if you take it, your opponent really has to, you know, like, your opponent can't attack it without leaving themselves wide open.
Right.
So it's sort of safe just because of how unsafe it is.
Yeah, and we don't see any early game shenanigans here. Just 8 farms on both sides.
Yeah.
Really gonna look what they want to do next. Throw down some tier 1, maybe try to get an expansion.
Alright, so No RT from Coloru, unfortunately. But we did give it a showing last game, which
Yeah,
I'm super pleased it managed to work.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. Tip of the hat. That was not expected.
Owl Fox versus Owl Boar is an interesting matchup. I'm not quite sure who wins it. I kind of think it leans towards the Owl Boar.
It's interesting. I mean, the question is, are we going to get to late game compositions that have double tier 3, or is it like I want the double tier 3 for the choice? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last time Melvin did push in with just his boar, but
yeah,
I guess on a different map, because there's no easy way for Melvin to really get a third, unless he takes this slightly risky 8 o'clock. It seems likely that he'll do what he did last game, where he goes up to 16 farms, gets out the boar, and then pushes in with boar falcon.
Yeah, let's see if Coloru can handle that well. I mean, he does have Fox. The Owl is not going to do very good in that situation. Really, I mean, his own Fox would be nice, but really he just needs a bunch of Falcons with what he's got. But kind of surprised we haven't seen an expansion yet. Both players are going for, like, heavy tier 2 on one base.
Yeah, I mean, Coloru is famously quite hard to predict, but Melvin usually likes to expand pretty early.
And there's finally an expansion. Now, these are pretty delayed expansions. Like, this reminds me of some old school builds, like going for 8 farm double tier 2, but normally that's some kind of timing attack
normally you'd push with this sort of...
Right. And I was thinking maybe Coloru was getting ready for that. I don't know. Maybe he's going to try to do a timing.
Maybe because both players were going for it, neither one has the opportunity. Like, both were probably assuming that the other would expand, and that would give them the moment to go in. But since neither one did, both players just went up to tier 2, so the armies were perfectly even. So
yeah, Coloru
just had to put a jumper on.
I'm curious if he's gonna move out when he's got all 4 of his skunks ready. It looks like that's the plan. At least to kind of position himself in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Melvin is getting a little ahead.
But Melvin's also not at home. This could be really bad if he doesn't borrow back. And he's scouting more and more, and this is so bad for Melvin.
Melvin's not in position. Coloru moving in, but loses commander.
He loses commander, but does it matter with this advantage?
That last
Melvin just about breaks even there. He had the eco up on his second base, so losing that one farm doesn't matter too much. But he was playing it right on the knife's edge there.
Yeah, that was close. And unfortunately for Coloru, losing that commander meant that he lost a lot more tier 2 there than he otherwise would have.
Yeah, if Coloru,
so that was really good for Melvin.
If Coloru could have pulled back, he definitely could have saved most, if not all, of that tier 2. But he still is ahead on army.
Right.
I think just because Melvin hasn't finished building his tier 2 yet. Coloru looks like he's going to attack from the south.
Yeah, he's starting to eco up. He realizes he can't fall too far behind in that regard. But Melvin sniffs this out, and he's getting in position here to defend. I don't know if Coloru's actually going to commit. Looks like he's going to.
Okay, what does Melvin focus fire first? Probably the Falcons, right?
Yeah, it looks like Coloru is going for the enemy Falcons. Is he going to have enough to push in?
It looks like Melvin's going to hold. If he kills the squirrel, then he can get the skunks nice and cheap. And one Falcon clears them both up. And that's
Coloru did not have enough anti-air there to finish off that Falcon. It was rough for him because he actually microed a skunk like with no HP into the Falcon because he was just trying to rally whatever that could shoot it, you know.
Oh, and Melvin's going to attack. He can pick off this forward warren, but I think just the massive squirrel is going to force him back.
Yeah, this is a good time to attack. Coloru is trying to sneak out the fox right now.
Yeah, I saw that. He's going to put him behind a bit, and he's got no skunks anymore, so the tier 1 is going to be really effective.
I'm surprised he decided to stay on 4 Falcons rather than like Skunk Falcon or something. But if Melvin doesn't actually commit and lets this Fox get out, Melvin really doesn't have anything that's good against Fox, I guess, besides the Owls. So
Yeah, I guess Fox is really Owl is really only his only answer to Fox. But Colaru is supply blocked. He's going to have to sell something, and whatever he sells, that gives. I mean, Melvin's already ahead on army, so Melvin's got a
Colaru's being so greedy.
big
He's
opportunity.
even building another farm.
Yeah. And Colaru isn't here either to micro this army. If Melvin sniffs this opportunity out, he can get so much damage done here. He's kind of retreating.
Grabs a couple pigs.
He's more scared than he has to be. It's kind of what happens though in this best of one format is that you're so risk averse.
It's definitely, you know, on a knife's edge, anything can happen. But Melvin's getting so much damage done already. Like 3 farms have gone down. Colaru hasn't taken critical damage, but he really needs this
Yeah,
Fox
he's getting
to
close.
get him back
If
to the
this
game.
Fox doesn't have any support, then it won't be able to clear up everything. And the mill goes down. Colaru's into starvation mode now.
Yeah, this Fox just might be a day late and a dollar short. He doesn't have enough to really support it here.
Melvin does see it.
Should be.
Let's see what sort of crazy Fox play Colaru can do.
Yeah, I think that 4 Falcons was the mistake here, man. I think he should have maybe sold down, got a lot of tier 1 and kept.
He needed some sort of anti-tier 1.
Yeah.
Because Foxes struggle with tier 1. Like, so Skunk Fox pairs up much better than Falcon Fox does, because they're both, you know, high target, single DPS.
All right, a point on the board for Melvin Fro there. I think a little bit off of a risky Fox play, followed up by some additional greed from Colaru. I mean, he was just greedy all over the place.
I mean,
the Fox building extra farms.
The Fox was a risk, but it was a risk he took because he was behind after that attack where he lost his tier 2 and Melvin survived. So I don't necessarily fault the risk. I think that the risk with trying to put down more farms was too much, though.
And keeping the 4 Falcons, I think he could have played that Fox transition a little bit better. But Melvin, super solid as always. Nice victory there. And another thing to remember is Melvin had really significant economy advantage the whole time. So why is Colaru leaving?
Because it's Melvin versus Mishi now.
Oh, okay.
It's the game everyone's been waiting for.
Melvin versus Mishi is going to be a good one here.
Yeah. But where is Mishi?
I just saw him in the chat a second ago.
Oh yeah, he's been in the stream chat, so he must be around.
Yeah. So let's give him a minute here. We need Melvin, but I think Melvin's just sitting in spectator to be on the right side, perhaps. Where is old Mishifus? You guys are closing in, man. 8-5 now.
Yeah.
A lot closer than 7-1 or whatever it was.
8-2, but same difference. I mean, man, Mishi. If Mishi's on form, though, he might seal it up here. Because
that's true. If Mishi wins 3 in a row,
he's got to play Melvin. Then he plays. Then we go to me versus Colaru. Then it's me versus Mishi. And then it's Eel versus Colaru and Mishi. And I think that's a big risk. No offense to Eel, but Mishi is like probably going to win that. Mishi's heavily favored for that.
Okay, Mishi versus Melvin. This is going to be an awesome match here.
Yeah, let's hope.
So we're sitting at 8-5, guys. This is the best of 21 event. If you're just kind of tuning in, don't really know what's going on. We played a whole season where we all split up onto a bunch of teams representing all the different tier 3. Kasha and Badger Fox rather made it to the finals. Here we are in a best of 21 where all the team members are playing in best of 1 matches. We got some 2v2s that decided at the end.
Hopefully, assuming we don't.
This is the ace in the pocket for Team Fox here, Mishi.
Yeah, but
and a very solid player is his opponent up
these
top. Melvin Fro.
These are the leaders of both teams. They're heavyweights. They're ultra heavyweights. You know, this is like they're Superman versus Goku.
Yeah, we all know Goku would win that.
Not according to Death Battle. I bet
listen,
if
they're
Toriyama was writing it, he'd find a way for Goku to go
I don't.
Golden Super
We'll get
Saiyan
way
Blue
off,
or whatever.
We'll get way off topic, but I am triggered, sir. Goku is so strong. I mean, Superman's like, oh look, I can lift a car.
Superman can fix black holes by grabbing them.
Mishi is coming out with a mole rush here.
Oh yeah, but Melvin scouted it, so he put down
This
his
is a good
warren.
response so far.
Does delay him his farm slightly, but better than the alternative.
Yeah, so a little bit of no harm, no foul in the early game here.
Probably won't be able to do
And-
any counter push because it's quite a long way, and this water's
This
going
is
to
a
slow it
really
down.
weird map when it comes to expansions. Like, I wonder if I don't think Melvin's a one base kind of guy. But he
No.
does have this cabin over the side to try to go that
Yeah.
direction. But I think we're just going to be fighting for
This
this
is
line of.
this is a
crystals.
very Mishi favoured map. Or so
Yeah.
many mills are on his side. Plus, he's got the arty to cut out the.
I think the artillery makes it a lot better
Yeah.
for Mishi for sure. Like, I guess he's got like one extra mill because you could say two of those on the right could go to Melvin. But it's so weird when they're so close like this. It's really hard to cut it. You know, it could go to either side just depending on who can
Yeah.
get down
Well-
there and take that position.
The reason I like defensive structures so much is because they let you turn bad map situations into, good map situations. They let you cut the map how you want it to be cut. So if Mishi gets
Right.
an arty cannon up, like even with the mill he's already expanded just on the edge of his territory, he can basically secure those next two mills pretty easily, and that's going to force Melvin into 2 mills against 4, which is a pretty rough situation to be in.
Yeah, having the defense in the deck really, really helps out for that
Yeah.
sort of thing. But I agree. I mean, even trying to consider this second mill for Melvin with all the water around it, I mean, that's kind of rough.
Yeah,
You
'cause
know?
it's quite far away.
So really, you can look at it. It's like 4 mills for Mishi and 1 for Melvin.
Yeah. So,
But 2 bases is all you need though in this game.
Yeah.
A lot of times. You
two
get
two bases and
together a
L's
solid,
can get a lot done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 bases in boars or owls specifically, but let's see.
Okay.
Melvin is moving
Yeah,
in.
he's only got the 1 skunk though, so I don't think it would be a good engagement for him. And he is pulling back. The squirrel mole is quite good against skunk because it forces the skunk gas to spread out far more than it wants to. They try and hit the moles as they walk forward, which means they end up hitting nothing. But Mishi was trying to do a 200 IQ play there, rallied his army, then burrowed back, trying to get a secret rally in. Melvin does.
He's got some moles here, and that could maybe punish these foreign.
Yeah, these are quite forward
for
warrens.
Melvin.
They're not all his warrens, but still, you don't want to lose them.
Only 1 warren
Okay,
going down,
one
but
skunk.
the tides are turning a little bit for
One
Mishi.
skunk
Keep
dead
in
for
mind, though,
Melvin.
Melvin's got a lot more economy.
He does. He did lose a skunk, but he's going to get it back up. And only losing the 1 warren isn't too bad. Losing the 1 warren is probably worth it to keep the... Like, if that warren tanking saved 3 squirrels, then it basically paid for itself. Is the way I tend to look at it.
That went fairly even overall. Losing the 1 warren there is kind of okay, but Melvin's had a decent economic lead for about a minute. Mishi
Melvin
is
lost more, but
fixing that now.
Melvin lost more, but he can afford the losses better than Mishi can. So
Right.
Mishi's going to try and catch up on Eco.
But this is the point that you were talking about earlier, where it gets a little worrisome for Melvin because it's like, now what? Like, yeah, he can try to take this third base with the moat all around it. He's going to go for the
Yeah.
boar, and I think that's the move. Just kind of try to 2 base all in
and-
here. Mishi's getting a fox.
Oh, he was.
Thinking about it.
He instead goes for Falcons.
He might just be waiting for Melvin to leave.
Yeah, maybe.
Before he throws down the fox. No.
No, he's going for it. I don't know if 6 Falcons is... See, Falcons against boar is kind of counterintuitively not actually that great because the boar tanks it so well. Like, even though the boar
Yeah.
can't actually hit the Falcons, so 1-on-1, in a vacuum, the Falcons would
Like,
always win. The boar just tanks them so well that support can clear up the Falcons easily.
Yeah, and especially when you've got your own Falcons to support it.
Ooh.
But I like this for Mishi. He's going to try to come
Yeah.
in right before the boar is done.
And-
He just scouted it. He's got plenty of units here.
Melvin isn't home to Micro. He burrows back.
He's going to get this mill before Melvin can get into position. Melvin's going to take the engagement here. Let's see
The boar
who comes
just
out
needs
on
a bit
top.
more time. It needs another 20 seconds. That's not nothing. If he can just get all the
He's trying to get these
if he can get all the
Falcons out of the
Falcons
air.
down, but he can't. He needs some anti-air now. He needs to desperately keep some anti-air. The boar is so close.
Mishi is not
The
worried
boar's
about
out.
this boar, though, instead focusing on the army.
Yeah, I don't know if he got the kind of catastrophic damage he was looking for, though. He got a lot of warrens, and he did get the mill with 3 farms on it, so not nothing, but I think Melvin's got a chance to counterattack here.
Well, Melvin got his boar out, but what Mishi prevented was Melvin having this boar plus this enormous army
Yeah.
on top of it, so he kind of reset the count. But you know, Melvin's actually building up pretty
Yeah,
quickly
Melvin
again,
at least
and
kept his
Mishi had
Falcons
those
alive.
moles.
And Mishi
Right.
is still rebuilding. He was supply blocked for a while, which means Melvin's got a good timing to come in here.
Yeah, Mishi had those moles out on the middle of the map that he had to sell, and he couldn't quite get his Falcons back
Yeah.
up in time. before
Melvin
this
needs to
boar
focus
attack
down
was
these
ready.
Falcons. He does get the
Oh,
mill.
So close that the mill is going to be so low. There it
Mishi is
is.
starving. He's trying to keep this boar alive. He doesn't, but he clears up most of Mishi's army all the same.
The damage seems to have been
Yeah.
done now, though. I mean, you get that second base. I mean, Mishi's in starving.
Yeah, Melvin can just go
0
back and sell
farms
his boar,
per
and that should be... He should have enough to hold. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mishi, this looks like a Melvin victory, but nice try. I thought for sure he was going to push through with that nice attack before the boar came in, but good defense there for Melvin.
Yeah, it did look like Mishi was going to be able to get onto Melvin before his boar was up and really get a lot of damage done. But I guess he didn't actually get... He got a lot of the units, but he didn't actually get much infrastructure.
Yeah, what was
So-
kind of impressive to me was Melvin got his Falcon count
Yeah,
reestablished like really quickly. Like Mishi did a good job of targeting those down.
Melvin was basically instantly back up to 4 Falcons. And
Yeah,
with that...
there it is. Melvin takes it.
8-6. It's a lot more even.
Close.
Now I need to play Coloru. So I'm going to
All right, man.
head out of the chat.
Have fun.
I can't have fun. I'm too tense. Whoa! Yes. Yeah, come on, Butters.
Oh man, I would be so frustrated if I was Kalaru. And that puts Tosh, you know, Tosh has the capability to really carry this whole tournament, or these whole finals here for the Badgers, you know. He gets to play 6 matches, and so far he's won all of his games. And this is his second game. He won the game against me with utilizing defense in an unexpected way, and he's kind of doing the same thing against Kalaru here. And Kalaru just never found that 12 o'clock, and that's going to be it. Tosh is going to win. Kalaru realizes now it must be up here, wants to go take a look, but is not going to see it. Oh my god, dude. What even is that? Poor Kalaru. Poor Foxes. He had it, man. He had it in the bag. But Sneaky Tosh found a way.
Oh, God. Oh. I'd waited for 2.
Judge.
once he sees that nothing's here. 3 mole warrants building ominously in the south. One of these mills will go down. Tosh is gonna kind of hang out and be like, yeah, I'm defending, but yeah, he rallies the moles back. I think he wants to hold on here. That snake going down, though. Tosh doesn't have much else. He will probably end up taking out these skunks, but Mishi's got some more reinforcements on the way. And Tosh manages to stay in the game for now, but Tosh has been doing some really great control, some really nice handling of this. But it's just coming down to an eco game. And can Tosh's moles knock out both gristmills? In time, I don't think so, but it definitely makes sense for Tosh to try this. Mishi, no, just win the game! Oh my god, Mishi's gonna come home and try to defend this mole attack. Alright, and he does defend it. Really safe play for Mishi, I do understand that.
Hey.
Yo, that was a crazy match.
Yeah.
Man. Well fought.
I mean, I think I got a pretty bad map for the Mishi game.
That is going to be it. Nicely played there. Yeah. You only had the 2 mills available to you, but it was close, man. You almost weaseled your way into
I think if I hadn't
points.
accidentally rallied the moles at the end, I could have done it.
This is a race to the first to 11. Yeah, I was watching, dude. I was getting scared with your sneaky 3 mole warrants, and Mishi had no idea. So it was definitely close. All right, we need Kalaru back in here. We're heading into Eel versus Kalaru next. And where is... There it is. All right. Kalaru should be coming on in. He might be in chat.
It was that high ground which was really screwing me. It was so hard to get up there and fight him, but I'm going to try and not whine about it too much.
Hey man, it happens.
Yeah,
can't win them all.
Come on, Eel. They need 2 games to win.
Dude, you could. I mean, you've already. You're 1-1 so far, right? You beat me and lost to Mishi. And that's
no. I got 2-1. I beat you, beat Kalaru, and I lost to Mishi.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair.
Well, most people lose to Mishi. Yeah. So.
I definitely could have won it though, which is a bit annoying, but it happens. I'm not very well versed with moles. Like the early mole, I could have definitely got I could have got like 3 farms if I just waited for him to go for another scout, because no one ever expects moles from me.
Right.
I'm the most.
Yeah, and that was smart to start off aggressive that game too, because you've been doing such a crazy play today. Just starting out with like, oh hey, squirrel mole attack, but in the bottom here we got Eel, Team Badger, up top Kalaru.
Okay.
And it makes sense. Like I think a lot of what you've pulled out so far makes a lot of sense for best of 1.
Yeah.
That's definitely the.
You want to keep him guessing.
The situation. Dude, that game against Kalaru, man, that was tilting the hell out of me. Like, I can't believe you won that.
People are so...
Oh, my God.
People are weirdly bad at scouting ninja bases.
Barbed wire is 5 food, isn't it?
10.
Is it 10?
Yeah, it's very cost efficient, but... I mean, he had the moles to break through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ninja... When it looks like you're losing, ninja bases are the most effective, because they never expect them.
Yeah, and what was the worst part about that was at one point I think Kalaru was getting curious and he like made the rounds, but he did the only place he didn't check was the 12 o'clock where you had the base, because he never actually went up there and scouted that there was a mill there.
Rough.
The entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But anyways, we're into Eel versus Kalaru here, and Kalaru looks like he wants to. Oh wow! Look at this proxy. Look at this, such a short rush.
Yeah.
Distance.
Is Eel gonna? I mean, Eel's already got 1 warren down. He's gonna scout this quickly.
Just like natural.
If Eel can just hold on here, he should be fine, because Kalaru's like really gimping his economy to do this.
Yeah, he's only on 6 farms. Eel did sell off a farm here, so he's only got a 1 farm lead at the moment, but that is very significant.
Yeah. Okay, Kalaru's selling down. He's not going full crazy. Although, maybe Eel's going to have a chance to counterattack. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the moles, but these are very far forward warrens. If Eel just gets 12 squirrels, he can definitely push. I hope Eel realizes that, because we need Eel to win at least 1 game, and then it comes down, and then it's guaranteed that Mishi can't, like, win this. because that would just take him to
Kalaru is
10.
doubling down here at the front,
Okay.
and this is rough. These forward mills, they don't have the pig support, and Kalaru realizes, all right, if I lose this position, that's probably the game
Yeah,
too.
but Eel isn't pushing. I think he probably could have, definitely, but I get it because it's such a short distance. If Eel moves in and loses, then Kalaru can counterattack.
I like the moles here.
Ooh, moles on defense are much worse than moles on attack.
Yeah.
And Eel is actually getting some significant damage done. And this is a problem with forward warrens, because now Kalaru's units, while they're not building, like, Eel can get right on them.
Yeah, Eel should just snowball to a victory from here. And I think Kalaru lost that when he started putting down mole warrens, because he felt like Eel was about to attack when he had enough time to just build more squirrel warrens there, you know.
All right, so let's see if Eel can make an upset against Mishi. Did Mishi beat Melvin? Or Melvin beat Mishi, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Melvin won all. So
yeah, Melvin won with the boar push.
Okay, yeah. So if Eel gets an upset, then it's 9-8. Even if Eel loses, then it's 10-7. And I think that means that we can win. Wait, that we can win by getting all the 2v2s? Is that right? That would break it to 10-10. That wouldn't be right.
Well, it's gonna come down to 2v2s now, no matter what.
Yeah. Have I miscounted a game? Have we miscounted a game? Because that's 9.
Yeah, we're on game number 18.
Yeah, 9 and 7. So.
No, it's 9 and 8.
Oh, 9 and 8. Okay.
Yeah. So Mishi's only got one more chance to score a point here. So let's say if Mishi wins this, then I'll put it at 10-8.
Yeah. Okay.
And that would mean the Badgers have to win all 3 2v2s.
Which will be risky, but it's doable. It's possible. This is getting after the early. I was not expecting it to get this close. Oh, I was not expecting it to get this close. After the like initial problems, the early game where Fox just like jumped up to 7 points.
Yeah, we did really well in the early divisions. I went 1 and 2 in the heavyweight. Did Kalaru win any matches? I think Kalaru lost.
Yeah,
all
I
three.
think Kalaru's lost all 3.
And Mishi is 1-1 right now. So if Mishi goes 2-1 right here, we would had a 2-1, a 1-2, and an 0-3 in the heavyweights.
Yeah, which I think would work back the same. No, it wouldn't work the same way because.
But this is, I mean, no matter how you slice it, though, it's gonna come down to the 2v2 deciding the tournament.
Yeah.
UQ, Ziggy, you, and Floor, man. It's all on
We're gonna
y'all's
at least
shoulders.
have one 2v2 where the whole game's on the line. All right, Eel.
Bottom left, we've got Mishi here, and up top, everyone's favorite dev, Eel Illuminatus.
Much better than Master Stealth.
Oh, that goes without saying.
I mean, it is definitely going to be an upset if Eel can take this, but it's not an upset that I feel like upsets happen against Mishi more often than other top players because he likes to be. He mixes up his deck a lot. He doesn't really play the meta very consistently, and that makes him unpredictable, and gives him an edge there. But it also does make him a bit unstable. So
I think the big thing with Mishi too is he tends to like units that some of the other top players kind of scoff at, like defenses in general or things like ferrets.
Yeah.
And he can make them work for sure. But like for example, he hasn't been leaving home without this artillery cannon a lot lately. But I like the core of his deck.
Yeah, I was
Wizard, Skunk Falcon.
Yeah,
I mean, you can screw around with the other 2 spots and be okay.
Yeah, for Mishi, this deck is kind of standard. The Squizzard, Skunk Falcon is all good. Fox's tier 3 is reliable, if not spectacular. And the RT, I think, is frankly a little bit underrated. I think you can definitely use it to good effect. The problem with Mishi is that he's been taking it so reliably. You kind of expect the RT from him if you've been doing your homework on him, which you should.
Yeah, Mishi and I actually, for basically since 2017. We've always played really similar comps, and like I play this deck that Mishi has all the time, except for I use moles instead of artillery,
Yeah.
you know. But that really the 6 slot you can kind of fit in whatever you want there.
Yeah, I mean it's like
And-
in Hearthstone or something. You get like you have your core deck of 20 cards, and then you get a few tech choices.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's really fun, and I think some players that it's probably good advice for some players that like to mess around and try things that aren't, you know, super meta is just make sure like, you know, most of your deck is pretty core,
Yeah.
you know, and then you can go crazy with that artillery or that ferret or whatever else it is. you
As a
wanna do.
player who tends to go crazy pretty often with his deck choices, I would recommend, especially when you're starting out, having a fallback plan in case the jank doesn't work out. Because
Yeah.
you only need...
So we have been kind of moseying over this game a
Yeah.
bit, but not a lot has happened just yet. Lots of tier 1 from both
Yeah.
sides. Mishi just hard committing to Lizards.
Yeah.
And both players trying to start ecoing up.
There's a route for Mishi to get in around the side, but it looks like he wants to just come straight in the front. Getting a few lizards picked off there. Yeah, what's Eel going to go for? Straight for Badger? No, Chameleon. I was wondering if we were going to see an instant Badger. Oh, are we going to see it? No. He's getting my hopes up, but Cam Skunk is probably safer. He's a bit behind on Eco, but the Skunk Cam should do well against the lizards.
Yeah, I think he's starting to put together a better comp here. I'd like to see Mishi get into some skunks, get into some squirrels, kind of round this out, but he's just going to go straight pile style, man. Pure lizard.
Oh, but Mishi's going to come in that alternate angle, and Eel isn't there to micro, so that's at least...
Yeah, he's gonna, this
There
is a
should
dead
at least be
Gristmill.
one dead farm. Okay, he does get the cell, so it's not disastrous. It's bad, but it's not awful.
Well, this actually might nip Mishi in the butt here,
Yeah.
because now what he's done is he's forced Eel's hand to counter push,
Yeah.
and Mishi isn't really prepared to defend this.
Yeah. It looks like Mishi's going to try and, just straight pile this, try and force base races. But if Eel just keeps taking bases, he will eventually catch Mishi's army out. And his
That was really good for Mishi, actually, because now he's had a chance
To
to
get
get up to
some
a
numbers.
lot of lizards.
But I think the tier 2 for Eel is just going to carry
Yeah.
him. He needs to keep...
Eel's just got a better comp here.
Yeah, he needs to keep the pressure up. Eel doesn't have long before his farms start to fallow. And at that point, it will really swing in Mishi's favour. Gosh darn it, these
Man,
lizards are just so efficient.
so insane once they get to high enough numbers.
Yeah.
And Mishi had just enough there. I was getting worried for a second, but you know they respawn so fast.
And now Mishi can really start snowballing. Once you get a bit of an advantage with lizards, they're really good at just multiplying that advantage over and over. So
Yeah, and the big story was killing that Gristmill. And I want to highlight Mishi's follow-up attack where he got in and sniped the Gristmill.
yeah,
again.
I think Eel probably made a mistake by trying to go back. He probably should have just pushed.
Yeah, because at that moment, you know, if their armies clashed, Eel would have won the game.
Hmm.
So Mishi did a really good job of buying himself more time by.
Like, Eel was building
Right.
this mill. Yeah, Mishi had to go through that mill, and this mill. I don't think Mishi could have done the base race.
Yeah, and Eel knows he's too far behind.
Yeah.
Eel knows Mishi's got that second base, so he's just trying to put together what he can, give us a show
Go out
here,
with a
come in
bang.
for one last big attack. He's only got one cam on the front,
Yeah,
though. The other
the other
cam,
cam
is
is a
making
bit
its way
slow.
downtown. And that should be the tap from Eel.
Oh, we might get
All right,
another
no
surrender.
pressure, Tosh. You just need to win 3 2v2s in a
Mhm.
row. Hey, man. You're pretty good at 2v2.
I am,
2v2
but-
to be fair, though.
Ziggy QQ is a powerful team. QQ's really good at 2v2s as well. When we teamed up in the 2v2 pocket bots, we kind of crushed it. I think the only people who beat us semi-reliably was Jet and this guy, the school bullies.
Yeah. Old Jet Erickson. Has he been around lately? I don't
Yeah, he
think
was
I
playing in
remember
this
him.
tournament, but he was on our team, so he's dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jet's always around, man. He's one of those eternal people like us. Always at least poking his head in events and stuff. Ooh, these Falcons gonna get caught out.
Yeah.
Steel is trying to make something
Yeah,
happen.
he's
here.
trying to go for a base race, but with squirrels versus lizards, it's pretty unlikely. Because especially since Mishi's already building a base. I mean, I'm rooting for him, obviously, but I don't think 11 squirrels is even enough to destroy a mill with 8 pigs on it.
And that'll be it. Mishi takes the match, finishing up 2-1 in his games here. So, good luck in your 2v2s, man. Have fun.
Thank you. I will change it to 2v2 because that is my responsibility. All right, I will. Maybe after the games, I'll hop back in to chat just to say goodbye and how do you do and all that. But
yeah, feel free to hop in for the outro.
Until then, see ya.
See you, man.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay. I'm so stressed right now.
Okay. So, no pressure, but we got to win all 3.
Yeah. So, what's the password again?
Final.
Okay. Yeah, we'll win anyway, because... Oh, fuck, I need to change my name. Okay, I'm gonna be back. No, fuck. Oh. Okay, I'm here. So you're definitely the leader in this team. I'm gonna follow your instructions.
Well, I'm expecting some... So far, they've gone for 4 skunks. So we definitely want to take some snake falcon. I think we want the owls because there's a good chance QQ will go for a ferret fox as well as some defensive structures. Other than that, I'm not too sure. We want probably some wire or defensive structures of our own.
Okay.
I think we just got to feel it out because we get too committed to a plan. We'll get rigid.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see how it goes. Oh my god. I'm so stressed. I didn't expect that I would be like
after the
person to decide.
Yeah, I thought it would be, decided by now, one way or the other. Especially after the Foxes took all those early wins, because I didn't think I was going to win any of my games.
But if we win, that's gonna be the most beautiful victory of all. And I'll be able to get cocky. Oh, we have a 5-minute break?
I wish someone had told me
I'll
if we
be
were.
back. I'll be back.